Only made it to Friday. 4 whole days of struggle, or 3 for some of us.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's good to be with you on a Friday. Hope everybody's off to a great start. Let's get out there and get ready. The weekend has begun for some of us, and we are ready to rock and roll. But we're going to give you 3 hours of our best effort, or, the usual halfway. And we're going to get into the weekend. So let's get to it. Pigskin Preachers here. Wes Moore, the Wizard, Christian Weaver, and Justin Acree. We've got a couple of guests coming in studio later on today. I haven't actually heard from Philip, but I'm assuming he's coming in. We can talk about Indiana Jones, whatever else he wants to get into.
Yeah, what else would he be doing on Friday that would be better than this?
I don't know. I like to think he's trying. I saw him a picture the other day. He was playing some golf the other day, so that was good.
I heard he played really well at the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. They won. His team won.
Yes.
Yeah. My son ended up for the celebrity with Ron Calcagni, who is a great human being, but not much of a golfer.
Well,
And Philip can play some golf. He's
Philip told us he played really well.
He did.
The way he normally
That's
plays.
not hyperbole with Philip. He's athletic. And if he said he did something well, you can make book on it.
He wrote a column the other day, and he was talking about a number of things. It was about baseball. It was actually very romantic. It was a very nice piece that he wrote.
I love that column. I sent it to my buddies in Michigan. I liked it so
But
much.
he talked about how he was playing basically at a scratch, and his dad was beating him in golf. And I'm like, that's dumb.
His dad was a fierce athlete.
Must
He
have
played
been.
basketball for Al McGuire at Belmont Abbey. Played some semi-pro baseball. He was a boxer. So, yeah, he was a good athlete.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
I look forward to hanging out with him. Hopefully he can make it up today. Eli Craner's coming in today. Eli's actually going to have a segment on the show. I think we're starting next week. So Eli, of course, is a best-selling author, and he's also a former, high school quarterback. He's a former coach, and I think he'll be a lot of fun. But he's going to give us some things to, maybe look into. Pigskin, this is right up your alley. He's our literary suggester, I guess, if you will, and that's something you do for us occasionally.
Well, Eli and I will bandy books off of each other. I got to tell you guys something. Occasionally, this show lifts all tides, and the boats everywhere. It just really contributes to the betterment of society.
Well,
so I'm watching a Capitol 4th the other night. Our nation's 4th of July celebration. They have concerts and inspirational readings and fireworks and all that stuff. Guess who hosted a Capitol 4th the other night?
Who?
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Did he?
I'm like, hey, I know him. He was on the show.
Did he moonwalk out on the stage?
He did not.
That's unfortunate.
But think about this. The reach of the zone, all these people that we have on, occasionally you'll be watching something. I was watching Saving Private Ryan the other day. Adam Goldberg's in it. Know him. He was on the show. I mean, all these people, it accumulates all the guys that you interview, which is pretty awesome.
We've had I need to make like a list, a master list. It's been a pretty remarkable run. We've been really lucky with a lot of them. Anyway, so
I still think my favorite of all the hundreds of people that have been on the show over these decades is probably Coolio.
Coolio was great.
He was so good.
God rest his soul.
He encouraged people to steal his cookbook.
Yes. He already got his money, so he didn't care. He's like, the bookstore paid for it, so I got mine. We are kind of I like to think that we're the tide that lifts all boats. I mean, we've got, 10 other hours during the day of Titanic radio. And so it's a lot of freaking work over here for these 3 hours we try to take on. So
it is a heavy burden on your shoulders. Yes, it is.
And we try not to implode also as part of the process. So anyway, Tom Murphy at 11 o'clock today. Tom was at the Ryan Mallett Memorial yesterday, and I just read some of the comments. I didn't see any of the video from that. Obviously, that was, I'm sure, very well attended, and sounds like there were, some tears, but a lot of laughs, and that's the right way to do it. Obviously, there's a lot to celebrate about Ryan Mallett and a lot of joy that he brought to his life and others. And so I hope that people are focused on that. And Pigskin, we talked about this a lot, actually. I know you prefer, this sounds awful and macabre, but you prefer probably doing a funeral over a wedding. And again, there's less pressure to some degree with the funeral. Certainly the person being feted doesn't complain. So there's that. But I mean, it's an opportunity, I think, and we need to take advantage of those opportunities.
The Bible says you pay honor to whom honor is due. And like you said, he brought a lot of happiness, a lot of smiles, a lot of enjoyment to life. And I think you take an opportunity and you celebrate that. Now, the downside of that is it would have been a lot easier if he were 75 as opposed to 35.
Right.
He was gone too soon. But
I thought the preacher who did the sermon, it was a family preacher from Lincoln, where they're now living, and he summed it up best. And it was a great joke too. But Ryan had a lot of life goals, and he met almost every single one of those life goals in the age of 35. And while we're saying he was taken too soon, you look at what he accomplished, and maybe his time was up here and he was taking it the right time. And then he said, Ryan for once was on time. He said, Ryan has been known to be late to school. Ryan has been known to be late to church. Ryan is known to be late for a plane. And the whole place just busted out in laughter.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'd had anything to do with that, my first opening line would have been, "Who's got a Scantron for Ryan Mallett?" Now, when you spoke at Mitch Petrus's service, I thought you guys hit a great tone with that. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, we would obviously prefer for Mitch to be here. He brought so much enjoyment, so many smiles. But man, he packed a lot of living into those years, and you guys celebrated that. And at the end of life's little day, that's going to be that way for all of us, whether we live a few years or a lot of years.
Pigskin, when you have somebody that passes certainly sooner than anybody would have ever anticipated, and also in a tragic way like this, what words have you found over the years that you find bring some kind of solace to a family or loved ones?
I think you remember the good things that they did, the good times that you had with them. You have to do that. I think God gives us a memory for that. I mean, and obviously all of us have had difficult times and things we would prefer not to relive. And it's easy to have those things come over and over again across the landscape of your mind. But I think back to people that I've lost, the people that have meant the most to me. And usually I'm laughing at something that they did that was ridiculous or something that they said that was funny. And I like to think about those kind of times. I think you emphasize that and say, look, we only have a limited amount of time here. Take advantage of that. Put as much living into that as you can, and be willing to smile and laugh. You've got that sign on your door about not being an Eeyore. And, some people, oh, this is horrible. I mean, look, life at the end of the day is a gift, and you got to unwrap that gift and you got to use it. And I think when someone like a Ryan Mallett leaves, I heard a million stories. I didn't share many of these because I don't think anybody wanted to talk about what he did at Michigan, but he was only at Michigan for a year, and then Carr helped get him out the door because he was trying to sabotage Rich Rod because he got really mad about that hire. But Mallett made a big difference at Michigan in the year that he played. Henny was hurt, and he came in and started 3 or 4 games, and you just watch him throw a football. It was like watching Usain Bolt run. It's like he was doing what God put him on earth to do. I heard stories. He showed up at frat parties and he's puking off balconies. And he was 18, 19. He was a young, immature, dumb kid, which I've been there. A lot of us have been there.
Some of us are still there.
Some of us are still there. But he made an impact in the time that he was there. And people, I heard from a lot of my Michigan people in Ann Arbor. They said, "Man, you heard that?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Everybody in Arkansas is really down about this," but they tried to remember the good things that he did and the promise that he had. And like Wes said, he fulfilled a lot of that promise. How many people are going to go to BCS bowl games who are going to set records at a major college, flagship university, who are going to play in the NFL, who could throw a football over those mountains like Uncle Rico? Mallett did every one of those things. I mean, okay, it'd be nice. All of us live to be 85. Well, not everybody's going to make it to 85. And what he did in 35 years is pretty impressive.
His high school offensive coordinator told a great story that before every game, at the very last thing they would do in high school, Mallett would stand right behind the 50-yard line and throw a football over the crossbar.
Good grief.
Hit the crossbar. Then he'd take a step to the left hash mark and throw the football over the field goal post. Then he would go to the right hash mark, throw it over the goal post. Then he would punt the ball from the 50 right through the goal post. And then the last thing they would do, they always had an old beat up football, and he would throw it over the stands into the parking lot. He said it's like an 80-yard throw. And the head coach one time got mad. It's like, why are we doing this? And he said, turn around and look at the other team. They're watching this.
You better believe it.
That's intimidation. He goes, Big Tex intimidates. We already got them beat.
Yeah.
I didn't know some of the stories he told, like as a freshman in high school at Texas High, who was the defending state champs. They kicked off their quarterback in the playoffs, and it was like the semifinal game, and Ryan, as a freshman, started that game.
Good grief.
And at halftime, they were trailing, and Ryan came in and said, "You got to take the handcuffs off. You got to let me go, boss. Let me throw the ball." He said in the second half, he threw for like 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. They still lost the game, but he's like, "That's my fault. I was trying to take it easy on him, and Ryan didn't need me to take it easy on him." He said that they were very, very close. And when Ryan went to Michigan, they called the offensive coordinator at Michigan that recruited him.
I think
said,
it was Stan Parrish at
no,
the time.
that's not the
No.
name. It was
Oh,
a name.
Borges.
No.
No.
Anyway, he called him and said, "Hey, I need you to come up. There's something wrong. Something's wrong with Ryan.
Yeah.
We don't know." And so he came up and he's like, "Ryan, what's the deal?" And he's like, "There's no good looking women up here." Quarterback, you'll see the good looking women. They'll start coming out of the woodwork for him. He said that we went to the game and he was looking around and he's like, "You know what? There's no good looking women up here." I said what Ryan's problem is, but he said Ryan had a wreck because he got to play a couple of games due to injury as a freshman, and he had the Michigan record for the longest touchdown pass.
Mhm.
Then he came to Arkansas and had 3 passes over 80, 90 yards that are still in the record books. That was Ryan Mallett, the threat of that long arm and how
Don't you
go
have
any
the
distance.
feeling that 20 years from now, there are still going to be people like us telling Ryan Mallett
Oh, no
stories?
doubt.
And that's how you help keep somebody's memory alive,
Mhm.
and you encourage those that are still mourning the loss.
Two things about that. It's amazing that you lost a guy he's a larger than life kind of guy because he's physically gifted in a way, like you said. I mean, God reached down and kind of like Nuke LaLoosh with that right arm of his. I mean,
Mhm.
just that's what it was about. I mean, he's just such a special talent. And then, we nearly lost Peyton Hillis, who was a larger than life iconic Arkansan,
Mhm.
a guy that was renowned for his strength and toughness and, the stories of him coming out of high school and, pulling the truck and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he had such just a reputation. And to think that we almost lost both those guys in the same year, and the fact that we did lose Ryan is just awful. But it's just been a crazy thing, And then the other thing I was going to say is, we've got Countdown to Kickoff coming up. I think the tickets are going to be on sale next week. We're trying to finalize all that. 8/1. It'll be August 1st. We're going to do it, and we're going to try to do a little tribute to Ryan, obviously, and that'll be part of the evening. But we're also going to get you ready for the season. We're going to have some former Razorbacks, current Razorbacks in. Last year was incredible, and we had such a great collection of guys. Just some of the best guys are going to be around, like DJ, Matt Jones. But Ryan came too, and he was fantastic. And I saw people posting a lot of pictures from that event,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the first time they got a chance to meet him or be around. I've been around Ryan a lot. I was thrilled to be able to be around him. And like you were saying, I mean, he is the life of the party. He's a guy that worked hard and played hard, and I can certainly relate to that. I mean, I love a guy like that. He's an easy guy to relate to. He's the guy that you want to, talk football with, but he's a guy you want to have a cold beer with. I mean, he's just a very relatable, likable dude. No pretense. And to me, pretty humble athlete overall. I mean, a guy that was very approachable.
There's a line in Ecclesiastes that, as I get older, is one of my favorite scriptures. It says, "The gift of God is that a man eats and drinks and finds enjoyment in all of the things that he does." And that was kind of Mallett. He found enjoyment. He liked to play football. He liked to coach. He liked to do this.
What's the chapter and verse on that?
That's Ecclesiastes. I'll have to give you a chapter.
give me that.
And it's like chapter 3.
I think you just gave me my first tattoo idea.
It's in chapter 3. I'll look it up.
I mean, that is a personal motto for sure. I mean, I'm doing everything to the nth
that a
degree.
man eats and drinks and finds enjoyment in all his labor.
I think that's good.
I use that in almost every funeral that I do.
I think that's good for sure. Okay, cool. I dig it. All right. Well, listen, I guess we started on an interesting note. We're 20 minutes in here. But anyway, we're going to also talk to Pigskin. I didn't even tell you this. I buried the lead. They're not here yet. At the bottom of this hour, in about 8 minutes. Is it this hour or next hour? Next hour. Bottom of next hour. Did I have it 10:30?
Yeah, you have him at 10:30.
It's 11:30. Sorry, my bad. Oops. At the bottom of the 11 o'clock hour, Pigskin, we're getting a visit from 2 people. One is Donette Span, and the other one is Josh Perrette. You don't know either one of these people, but one of them is with the Arkansas Beef Council, and the other one works at Corky's. And they're going to be burgers served to us here in the studio today.
Oh, my goodness.
You missed the Food Fridays we used to have back in the day.
Oh, man.
And, buddy, we're back today. So
I'm still remembering the rib witch at the rib crib that they brought in.
We had the rib crib for a while. We had NYPD Pizza that sponsored us for a long time doing picks on the Fridays. That was fun, too. They would come in and bring pizzas.
Nice.
Okay, here's your verse, Ecclesiastes 3:12 and 13. "I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live, that each of them may eat and drink and find satisfaction in all their toil. This is the gift of God."
Perfect.
Friends, that's wisdom right there. It kind of sums it up.
I always say this, and I don't mean it in a dark way, but it's true. I mean, we're not here it's just we're a fart in the wind. I mean, we're here for just a sec. You know what I mean? I always say we're going to be dead soon. And I don't mean to be dark about it, but you got to try to, suck as much enjoyment as you can.
Absolutely. That's why I go out of my way to torment all the Ohio State people for what we've done to them the last 2 years. I know that the rug could be pulled out. We could lose this year, but right now we're on a 2-game winning streak, and I'm going to remind them of that until I can.
That was an odd way to tie that together, Pigskin. But you know what? You have a special gift.
Yes, I do. Or a curse.
Yeah, maybe that. All right, let's take a quick couple calls here, and then we'll hit our first break. If you want to join us, 661-1037, unsponsored text line, same number, 661-1037. By the way, if you'd like to sponsor it, I know a person. Also, Asher Record Live Fan Feedback wide open. We certainly appreciate Asher Record. They've been a long-time sponsor of that service for you to be able to interact with us. And if you need a tow this weekend, 24-hour, folks. Those are the best. Ask for Asher at 501-562-2293. Savage, what's up, my man? How are you?
What's going on, fellas? Doing fine. It's Friday.
It is that.
Hey, Pigskin,
Yes, sir.
enlighten me on something. I don't like listening to female broadcasters. That's just me, my opinion. I just, it's not my thing. It's not my thing, brother. I
got you.
That was out of left field.
So,
okay.
So, watch, and rest in peace, Ryan Mallett. But I'm watching the service, and my father-in-law's a pastor. What's your thoughts on female pastors and preachers? If you want to touch it, you can. If you don't, I understand. What's your thoughts on that?
Well,
I'm gonna get my dumb stuff off here.
I'm not generally in favor of that.
Appreciate it,
I try not
See
to.
ya.
I try not to be too obnoxious or outspoken about it. But there was a funny line from G.K. Chesterton. He said, "Every time I hear a woman preach, it reminds me of a dog walking on its hind legs." He said, "It's not that it's not done very well, but that it's done at all." And I know I probably just offended a bunch of people that feel differently about that. And it's a free country. I understand that. I certainly read things that women write, but I think that the Bible's lined up in a way I think it's pretty clear about that. So
I think part of the problem is that some of the females that are doing play-by-play or color aren't very good, and so it gives them a bad reputation. But like Doris Burke, I like her.
Burke rocks.
I can listen to her, and
Absolutely.
it doesn't bother me. But there are some women who do football that are just bad. It's not because they're a woman; it's just they're bad at what they do. And I think that it creates it makes it even harder for other women because of they haven't been successful at doing what they do.
Per Savage's remarks, I watched the NBA draft. I'm crazy about watching drafts. I always watch it stem to stern. And I think 3 of the 4 or 5 commentators on there were women. And I'm like, they don't know that much about these people. I could go over there. I'm texting at the same time our own Christian Weaver. Christian knows 10 times more about these kids, about where they're coming from, about the upside, about the limitations than these women. And I think some of them are put on there because they're cute or they're charming or they dress well. Or I'd rather have somebody that knows what they're talking about. So I agree with that.
We have a female
show out. I think you guys get the rest of this. Okay. I
We
don't
have
want to be
a female-
associated with this. Welcome to Misogyny 101. We were doing such heartfelt, loving stuff. We're giving out Bible verses.
He just said not all of them. Doris Burke is
there are
outstanding.
dozens and dozens of listen. Susie Colbert just got let go. She's one of the best people I've ever seen do her job.
But she was on the sideline. I'm
Can I
talking
say
more
this?
play-by-play and color.
Beth Mowens has grown on me. I didn't like her at first doing football games.
Yeah.
She actually knows her stuff.
I
I like
know it.
Beth Mowens.
I can
think
only
she's
name
good.
2 women that have never done play-by-play.
Pam
for football.
Ward?
Yeah, those are the only 2.
Yeah, but Beth Mowens. I
Name me
think
one
is-
more.
She's better.
The
Well,
one- who's
not
the one
many
with
of
the
them have done
deeper voice.
that. Beth Mowens.
Beth Mowens
Is
or
that
Pam
Beth?
Ward. I don't know which one's which, but I think they're both more than competent.
Beth is good.
I have no issue with either one of those
I agree
ladies.
with that. No, not at all. Not
I
at all.
honestly don't have a problem with them.
What's her last name?
Mowins,
Mowins.
Mowins, and then the other one is Pam Ward. I don't.
She
have
does a lot of Big Ten games.
Those are the
She's
only
pretty
2
good.
women I've ever seen do football, and they're both very competent.
Well,
in my
there's a,
book.
there's 1,000 of them on the sideline, but they don't usually let them
But
do.
that's not what he's talking
play-by-play.
about.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
that's right.
It's not Beth. I know Beth. She is
Probably Pam
there's
Ward
another
is who
one.
you're talking
I
about.
Google
Yeah.
her.
Anyway,
I haven't heard her in a while, and I think it's because she's
and Justin's
wasn't very
right.
good.
I mean, like, good grief, you don't want to start denigrating somebody because of their gender. That's a bit unfair. So,
Yeah, and I think, look, you're either a talented broadcaster or you're not. I mean, I will say this: like, there are people who don't come off as authentic, and I think I can say that about men and women both.
absolutely.
Especially,
yeah.
well, and with the
honestly, yeah.
with the NBA too, especially Christian. To me, it's again, I don't follow it like you do, but I can tell when people are like, grasping. And it seems like there's more grasping with the NBA. I just think guys, especially the talking heads on ESPN, they follow the NFL more intently than they do the NBA. So I think they've got more general knowledge.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I just like expertise. I mean, Christian's become my guy. I mean, hey, what about this guy? Christian knows this stuff. I want to hear people that know what they're talking about.
I do too, but I don't like some of Christian's takes, like the fact that he thinks our USA team is going to be terrible. He might be right. Okay, that I don't. We are really playing the semantics
Son, you
hair
didn't,
split
you
game.
didn't see the '88 Olympics where we got broomed. I mean, because we had 8 dudes that couldn't shoot. Yeah, exactly. We've had a couple. Right.
But it's still want to win. I mean, it's international competition, and my biggest thing is it's easy to root for because Bobby Portis and Austin Reeves are both playing for the
How about
team.
that? 2 Arkansans playing on
Hillbilly Kobe is playing on the team.
Yes.
How did I miss this?
Did you hear him on the show the other day?
Oh, he's great. Yeah,
he is such a likable dude.
he is a likable guy.
What are they missing, Christian? That you don't what Tyrese Halliburton just signed a max deal, pal. Watch your mouth. Anthony Edwards, sure. I'll give
Get
you that.
shooters. You can't have enough shooters in international.
How
ball.
did Banchero do last year?
He was Rookie of the Year.
Okay, see how closely I follow the NBA.
And you know the Rookie
You know
of the
why?
Year?
It's the most important award there
Yes.
is. It's a running joke. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Navy Mike called in and basically said if Wembanyama does not win the Rookie of the Year, he was a complete bust. And that's overstating it, but
Well, you can't gauge a career on 1 year.
No.
Maybe it takes him a couple.
I think we would all bet if I could take Wembanyama versus the field,
I think
assuming
Wembanyama.
everybody stays healthy, I think he's going to win easily. By the way, we have more on the Wembanyama Britney Spears thing. He has spoken out, and Eyewitness did as well. And now Britney's complaining still. Apparently, I just got a TMZ alert.
Uh-oh.
So this friend of mine talked to me yesterday, talked me into getting frickin' TMZ. Britney Spears, quote, in shock and angry after slap as she had dinner at Catch in Vegas. And like I said yesterday, if my wife gets slapped to the ground by security while we are going to a restaurant in Vegas, I am going to not have dinner. I'm going to have jail. That's what I'm going to have for the evening. We're going to jail. I'm fighting someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's your wife, for crying out loud.
Yes.
You got to do something.
And yes, Britney Spears is a unique personality.
Are they dating?
No, who? No, she's married.
Oh.
Her husband Sam was with her.
Oh, okay. I made the connection between. I thought maybe Victor was dating her.
No.
You heard Brady is dating your
No,
girl Kardashian.
No,
That's what I heard.
no, he isn't.
Basil said that this morning on the
No.
show.
That is the most overblown nonsense. That's that's not.
You're saying that Morning Mayhem is not a reliable source? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know how more clearly I could say that. He said grabbed her. She grabbed him. She said tapped on the shoulder. Regardless, she shouldn't have been slapped to the ground. It was an overreach.
No, you don't ever put your hands on a woman.
Security's got a job to do. I get
Ever.
it. I respect that. But at the same time, it seemed excessive. Concur. We'll play the clip on the other side of the break. We got to get to the break. Jake's on the air. Jake, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, good morning, fellas. It's still morning. I just want to say, first of all, I don't even know about the Britney Spears thing. So if you guys can in the next segment expound on that, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right.
Second of all, I started listening to Buzz because Pastor Mark Evans at the Church of Rock Creek used to come on there, and he would usually give stories, mostly baseball, and relate them to the Bible somehow.
Yeah, Pigskin, give me
You
one of
have a way
those.
doing that?
Pigskin, give me one of those examples. Can you do me a little Mark Evans?
Well, I just want to say,
You want to.
I'm just saying this because I think Pigskin has a way of doing that, and I appreciate him being on the radio so much.
Jake, we
How
listen to his
relatable
Double B's
he is,
ads, buddy.
how
That's what he
much
does.
Well, thank you, Jake. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Pigskin, I think, and I know you're a busy man and you're a pastor of a large church, and for you to come on and do this kind of thing too on the side, is awesome, and like it's just uplifting to me every day to listen to you.
Well, thank you,
So
Jake.
I
But just
wanna
remember,
personally thank you,
preachers
man.
preachers only work one day a week, so we're
Roger.
covered the rest of
Jeez
the week.
Louise, Jake. I thought the morning guy sucked up
Roger
to
that.
Justin Moore a lot.
That's
Take it
right.
easy over there.
What a
Yeah.
man, Jake, you need to call in more often,
I'll
my
get
brother.
Dr. O'Malley to come over here and surgically have your lips removed from Chuck's back door. Dear Lord. Get a
Hey,
room.
y'all have a good day, man.
Goodbye,
Go
Jake.
Hogs.
He's like, meet me at the truck stop, Chuck. I really, really am into you. 1034. (10:37), our favorite time of day. It is 1037 right here in the zone on the buzz. Thanks for tuning in on this fantastic Friday. Pigskins here. Give you a little love and gave you a little hate in the first segment. There you go. Well rounded.
I never would have believed years ago I would have said I was a fan of Beth Mowins, but I do. I think she's good. Either she's gotten better or I've grown. I don't know which.
She's definitely gotten better. I'm going to go with that.
hurts.
Well, Wes apparently still salty about some woman who does some game that he doesn't even know her name.
It's got to be Pam Ward.
I think so too. And I don't
Because
have,
I can't think of any other play-by-play people.
those are the only two women I've ever heard do football.
And I thought, as a play-by-play guy, as you are, I thought that was a rather magnanimous take on your part. Because if they were terrible, you would say they were terrible.
1,000%.
I know you would.
I'd be happy to. I'll tell you what. I find I mean, I don't mean to be a jerk.
Yeah.
I find Jessica Mendoza a little off-putting.
Really?
I don't like her
Okay.
on the air.
I'm a Gus Johnson fan. I would like
Oh,
Gus.
come on.
I would
Next
like
level.
Gus Johnson to come over and introduce me at church. We can't afford that, obviously.
Gus is exciting.
Gus rules.
Yeah. There's so many good, talented people.
There are.
Anyway, I'm all for opportunities for everyone if you're talented. But yeah. Anyway, did you figure out who you hate?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it's college
It's
football.
got to be Pam Ward.
She's got a
It's-
deep voice.
It's Pam Ward.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Now's the time to get back on the water, kick back, and do some fishing. And at Max Prairie Wings, they're here to help you out. Max in Stuttgart. Are you making the intern get you drinks now?
No, I left it on the water fountain itself.
Dude, I'm
filled
the
it
GM, and
up.
I don't even have her do coffee.
I
Like,
filled it up.
I don't think I've
was
had an
there, I
intern
just
give me
forgot
coffee
it.
since
Misogyny run amok here, isn't it?
well, I
Yeah.
made RJ get my coffee back in the day. So
Oh, I can see that.
he's a dude. Back when we were calling him Lloyd. God,
Argu-
I was so mean back in the day.
I heard him say instead of arugula, he said argula. I was cracking up at
Well,
that.
he's a
yeah.
man that does not big on veggies, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
He eats his meats. Tohatsu outboards are affordably priced and backed by a 5-year warranty. So go by, check them out at Max Prairie Wings. If you can't get down there today, but you want to know more, go to maxpw.com. Max offering competitive prices, in-house financing, great service center, and they've got certified Tohatsu technicians, which is good. So whatever you need to get out and about, have some fun this summer, maybe do a little shooting, not up in the air like we talked about the other day. Fishing rods, casual summer clothing, anything you need. Tohatsu outboard motors, obviously among them. Max has everything for your summer fun. Stop by and see our friends down there in Stuttgart. Do some browsing, do some shopping online at maxpw.com. Appreciate you tuning in, 1040. And apparently, I don't know what rock Jake's been under. I guess he's listening to podcasts or reading things that are interesting as opposed to following the drama of TMZ. But yeah, Victor Wembanyama is walking through a hotel in Vegas. I think it was the Aria, maybe. And Britney Spears is walking in behind him, which is amazing that they got there around the same time. They both had their security details, and yet she decides to walk her kooky self over there and either tap him on the shoulder, she says, or grab him, as his security detail says. And it led to a slap in the face and her being knocked to the ground by his security detail. I don't think most of that is in question, right? We can all agree that that's what happened, other than the tap versus the grab, right? And I'm with you, Christian. That doesn't make a whole lot of, from a physics standpoint, the fact that she tapped him on the shoulder. I mean, I'm taller than Britney Spears, and I'm not going to be able to reach up and tap Wembanyama on the shoulder, I don't think. Maybe I can. Yeah. I'll get Joe in here and see if I can tap his shoulder. Tippy toes, tippy toes. Anyway, here's an eyewitness. We'll see what they thought.
Wemby was walking into the Aria heading to catch when there was a fan who afterwards we found out was Britney Spears was approaching him with a British accent, saying, excuse me, sir, and just kept trying to go towards him. When eventually he was heading, when Wemby and his entourage were heading into the restaurant where into catch, that's when Britney sort of infiltrated her way into this circle, and one of his bodyguards gave her like a backhand slap across the face.
So explain specifically what was Britney doing? Did she make contact with him? Did she touch him? Describe like literally the blow by blow of how that all happened.
Him in using, like I said, a British accent, saying, excuse me, sir, I guess trying to get his attention for possibly a picture. But when they walked right into the Catch restaurant, that's when she leaned in, sort of got her way into the circle and started to put her hand on his back shoulder or his back, because he's pretty tall, so towards his back. And then that's when the bodyguard just turned around, slapped her across the face, and knocked off her sunglasses.
Did you see his hand make contact with her face?
Yeah, you saw the hand, but you
You know, it's interesting. Is it possible, and I'm not suggesting this, did you see him hit her hand and her hand hit his face? Or was it his hand that squarely hit her face?
No, face.
And you saw her sunglasses fly off.
They flew off, yes.
Did she fall to the ground?
I don't think she fell. At that point, there was a lot of commotion with people in the way, but I don't recall her seeing her fall to the ground. Just and like hunch over.
When did you realize that it was Britney Spears?
Not more reports on the news.
After the slap, what happened? Did Victor walk in the restaurant? What did Brittany do? Can you describe that?
Yeah, Victor walked right in, kept going. A couple of people stayed behind, sort of to, I would say, check on her, or maybe they didn't. I'm telling you, they didn't know. I'm guessing they didn't know it was Brittany. So just to restrain this person from getting any closer. And then that's when afterwards they sort of try to walk her out of the restaurant. She screamed and using a British accent. That's what she was using the whole time. This is f***ing America.
And she was saying that in an angry, like angry that she had been.
Yes, it was an angry tone.
So did you eventually see her walk into the restaurant as well?
No, I didn't see her at that point walk in, but when we finished our meal and came back out, she was still hanging around, and there was other, I guess she had a group of people around her, and then she walked through Aria covering her face with a hat.
Oh, man. I don't understand the British accent. Catch apparently is short for catch a beating if you're Britney Spears. Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone do that since Madonna when she was doing that affectation of the Queen.
God bless
her. Is it
too.
possible that the security guard that slapped her, he had just heard her song "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time" and he took it too literally?
Okay, there you go. That's a take.
I'm surmising.
I've heard worse.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that's true because that makes the story so much better. Here's Victor's take on it.
So what happened last night is I saw the news obviously this morning. I woke up to a couple of phone calls, and so yeah, there was something did happen a little bit when I was walking with some security of the team to some restaurant. We were in a hall. There was a lot of people, so people calling me obviously. And there was one person who was calling me, but we talked before with the security. Don't stop because it's gonna make a crowd. So I couldn't stop. So that person was calling me, sir, and that person grabbed me from behind. So I didn't see what happened because I was walking straight and we told don't stop. But that person grabbed me from behind, not on my shoulder. She grabbed me from behind, and so I just know that the security pushed her away. I don't know with how much force though, but security pushed her away. And I didn't stop to look, so I kept walking and enjoyed a nice dinner. That was fun with the guys.
He also said he didn't know for 2 hours that it was Britney Spears. So initially he did not know who it was. And 2 hours later when they told him, I'm not sure if he knew who it was. So he's like, yeah, exactly. So anyway, we'll move on from that, but it is interesting and it is odd. And I'm like, maybe we'll get another like pseudo former celebrity. I mean, she was a superstar. That will get into it with a current.
You couldn't make this story up.
No.
If you were trying to.
Pigskin.
This is so bizarre.
It's the strangest story of 23, I think, and we're into August.
Oh man.
Yeah. It is amazing.
By the way, tonight
Wow.
is the night.
I was just going to say that. That's where I was headed. Go ahead.
Victor Wembanyama plays tonight at 8:00 on ESPN. Well, I was going to say Nick Smith Jr. in the Hornets. He's been terrible, by the way.
Brandon Miller's been
Brandon
a
Miller,
hackosaurus.
yeah.
I heard.
Well, Nick's leading the team in scoring, 13 points a game, 4 rebounds,
Go ahead.
3 assists.
Say what you got to say.
Say it.
Why?
That team is terrible, though.
Yeah.
Do you think that's part of it?
Can't help.
Mm-hmm.
Wembanyama, by the way, is attracting a lot of attention, as you might understand. This is obviously happening in Vegas. That's where Brittany was. Ticket prices for most games around $40. Tickets starting at $186 for the Wemby games.
Wow.
The top price seats are going for $617 a piece, apparently. So I don't think I'd pay $600 to see a regular season game, let alone a summer league game that doesn't count.
Just because it's his first game ever, just so you could say you saw the first one, but it's a summer league game.
That doesn't count.
I think I saw Game 5 of the 1988 NBA Finals for like $30.
Pigskin, I paid I think I paid $29 for an NBA Finals 93 Game 4 in Chicago Stadium.
Wow.
The good old days, my friends.
Did you save the ticket stub?
I don't probably somewhere. I don't
Good.
know where.
You got to save that.
Yes. I didn't know at the time that
it
Michael
is.
Jordan was going to be any good, though. I kid. No, there's no way I would pay that. That's stupid. That does lead me to my what?
We got another break today. Okay,
Yeah, that's fine. When do you start worrying about breaks? You just do your job over there, bud.
you were gone for a week, and so I tried to
Yeah.
stay on top of things.
I'm on top of things.
Hey,
bud.
somebody's
I've
got to
been doing
be
this
the
for a long
adult
time.
around
It's my
here.
20th year. I
That's
got
right.
it. Hey,
You've
Christian.
been on me before. Say, hey, you got to help me out. You got to point things out.
Yeah,
I'm just trying
Not
to
the breaks. I got that. Hey, listen. Now you got me out of my train of thought. I was going to ask him a question that was actually germane to the station. Nobody gives a damn about the time. Sorry. Same old me. I'm back, baby. Something about the game. Oh, question of the day today. Thank you very much. This is an experience. I wouldn't pay $6.17 to watch Vic in his first game, but I do want to do this, especially if it comes free. Christian, the question of the day. Today is a big day. Kicks off the big festival over in San Fermin. But not, you have to run with the Bulls. You don't get to go and watch. You have to run. Would you go, yes or no? Wes, you better go now if you're going to go.
Nah,
You don't want to do it.
no.
You don't want to do it.
No. A bull's going to put his horn right in your what's-its.
You don't have to outrun the bull. You only have to outrun the other people,
But I've
Pigskin.
seen this enough, and the bull always gores someone, and it would probably be me.
It'd probably me.
With all,
Well, that seems unfortunate.
they're edible. What do you want? Yeah. They don't eat the people that get gored, though. So
By the
that's
way,
good.
did you hear Justin just a minute ago? He dropped a great line. I caught this. I'm not sure if anybody else did. He said, well, it seems excessive, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. He's
Exactly
going
right.
all Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction. I'm like,
Right.
that was brilliant. That was Roger Scott level brilliant. Good job. I'm just saying.
No, Roger.
No, that was
Great job.
that was a compliment.
Thank you. I'm just kidding. We know that Roger knows we love him. I would go in a heartbeat. And if I don't go soon, like I'm never going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Are you thinking about going?
No, but I'm saying if it
Oh.
was all expenses paid, like I wouldn't even bat an eye. I'd go, hell yes, I'm going. I'm not going to get on the any kind of submersible, but I would go to the festival in a heartbeat. You know, here's the thing, and I don't want to disrespect him because I do respect him very much as a human being and as a writer. But Wally Hall ran with the Bulls, and with all due respect to Wally, I think I'm a better athlete than Wally.
I've
is.
thought about this 1,000 times. I thought, how did Wally do this? I can't see Wally running with the Bulls. I love Wally, but I mean, no, it's
Okay.
anyway.
And doesn't mean, listen, you could be the best athlete in the world. I mean, other than like Bolt. Bolt's not going to get run down. Yeah, Bolt's like, I can actually outrun you. But the rest of the people, yeah. I mean, if you trip or, yeah. 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 No, and I don't know how far the actual run is to where you get into the arena and then you can get out of harm's way. But I think it's something I would absolutely do. And if I don't do it in the next year or two, I'm never going to do it.
I could see Justin using someone as a human shield. Somebody falls and he uses that guy, and
Yep.
I mean, he's strong enough to pick up the guy.
Thank you.
That's so,
I would
yeah.
like to know, is it like a mile that we're running until the stadium?
I
Is
don't
it 200 yards?
No, it's somewhere in between there. It's not quite a mile, I don't think, but it is longer than like a short sprint. Yeah, maybe like several blocks. Let's say half mile. I'll look it up. I think you'd enjoy it. And just think if you lived, what a cool story. For the rest of your life, you can be like, yeah, I ran with the Bulls. What about it?
No big deal.
Right. And now Wally's got that, and I don't. And it makes me mad. All right, been looking into the running of the bulls, which gets underway today. It'll go for a week. No drunk or intoxicated runners, but basically there's nothing you have to do except for be 18 to jump out there and run with them. Yeah, just wait because we have time. You got 3? Okay, go ahead.
I have 2.
Well, that's 3. Yeah.
And you have 1.
I see you working.
Good things.
See, this is where I need your
this
help.
weekend. Yeah, you just jumped right on in there. If we'd had more time to set this up, would have been okay. Go to the website, GuatneyChevrolet.com. See all the deals right now. You can see all the inventory. Pick out the vehicle you want. Then go to the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville. They're giving great deals right now because they got a lot of 2023s they're trying to get out of there and make way for the 2024s. And they're still paying top dollar for your vehicle. Trade in a quality car, truck, SUV, and you will be very excited with what they'll give you. You'll be able to pay off your car, have a little extra cash, put it down on the next car you're buying out there. Or look, you can just trade or just sell it to them and walk away, go somewhere else, or just put that cash in your pocket. Good things happening right now this weekend at Gwatney Chevrolet.
I'm reading about like strategies and things to get into the running of the bulls. It's quite an ordeal. Anyway, if I get an all expenses paid trip, I'm definitely going.
You would do this.
I think I would.
I could see you doing this.
I'm a psychopath.
Talking me into it.
Okay.
I'm lucky to be ambulatory, so I don't think I should. I'm too old.
Yeah.
You're not too old.
No, Wes is right at the cusp. He's got to do it soon.
You do.
He tried skiing, didn't work. I think this is your thing. Rebecca, what's happening?
Good morning. How are y'all?
Good. What's going on?
I can't believe I'm saying this because I hardly ever agree with Savage. Savage, I totally agree with you. I don't like the females, but I wanted to answer his question about what he asked Pigskin about is it biblical or not for women pastors. 1 Timothy chapter 3, that's all it is. It's setting forth the qualifications in the church for pastors and deacons. And nowhere in that chapter does it say anything about women being pastors or deacons. So, Savage, I'm right there with you. Y'all have a great day, and Pigskin, it's good to hear you.
Well, thank you,
Goodbye.
Rebecca.
Thanks, Rebecca.
This has turned into Bible talk.
I'd like to have a little more of that occasionally. Actually,
Well,
sometimes I feel like I got to drag it out of you.
We could probably do some more with that. I try not to be intrusive with that.
I respect that.
You know, I mean, no, not everybody wants to.
Well,
hear
this is
that.
your break. You talk Jesus all week. I mean, this is
That's true.
you can talk football and things that don't matter.
I do
again.
like to argue about football.
Yes, you do.
That's one of my favorite things.
as if it matters.
Yeah,
It's fun.
exactly.
All right, welcome back. It is hour 2 in the zone on a fantastic Friday. Get a lot of, I don't know what's up with this. Talk to the weather people, Wes. It's like we get a week. It wasn't too bad, I guess, this week, but it's like, the weekend comes around. It's like, oh, rain. 50, 70, 80 or 50, 70, 60. That's our rain chances this
We've
weekend.
got a small front that came through the state, and it's going to, depending on where it settles down, if it settles to our south, a lot of these storms are going to stay down there. But if it settles to the north of us, they're going to be popping up all over
Did
us.
you guys get caught in that massive hailstorm on Monday here in
No.
town? Oh, it was crazy. There were people pulled under the overpasses to try to stay out of it.
What time of day was that?
Like middle of the day. I visited
I was
somebody in the VA hospital. I was driving home. I was over by like Rodney Parham, Cantrell there. It was raining like Noah's Ark, like marble size hail
Whoa.
coming down. I figured my windshield was going to get busted. It didn't, but it was nuts.
You going out and see live music anymore?
Very rarely.
I had a
I
woman
need
you would have
to.
liked to see the other day.
Who was that?
Her name's Maggie Rose.
Oh yeah, I've heard of her.
She played. I saw her in Kansas City when I was on vacation, and then she came down here and played at the Rev Room the next night. But show tonight I'm going to go to, and I've seen him play like 10 times. But it's always a fun show. The Big Damn Horns. Have you ever seen them?
I've heard of them.
You should come see them.
I was listening to something on satellite radio. It was your boys, Blackberry Smoke.
Yeah.
And they were doing a cover song of somebody. I can't remember who it was, but they were covering something. I'm like, this is pretty good.
The guy's good.
Yeah, it was decent.
Those guys are really good. I think you'd enjoy it. You like.
I need to get out more. I've gotten into this habit of going to bed really, really early because I get up. I'm always watching, Channel 7. I liked it better, when Allison and Kane were there. But 4:30, I'm usually watching the news.
Yeah,
it's like I got farmer hours.
Listen, Frank, you better get after it.
Yeah, what am I going to be like when I'm 70?
I know you better.
Well, at 7:30, he's in bed because he got to get up at 3:00.
It's not a complaint; it's an observation. My father is in his mid 70s. He gets up at 5:00 in the morning every day for no apparent reason and goes to the gym. Which I love the fact that he's going to the gym, but I'm like, Dad, you have your whole day to kill. And then he gets home, he showers, and it's like 6:40. By the way, my dad also showers before he goes to the gym. He gets terrorized by the people there. He gets cleaned up, goes to the gym, comes home, cleans up. It's like he's like, I don't want to. I said, nobody cares what you look like at the gym, Dad. I've had this conversation with you too.
You know who said that? Brian Bosworth, when he was the best college football linebacker in America. He had an interview in Sports Illustrated. He said, I like to sweat clean. So he would take a shower and clean up, then go work out and sweat, and then come back and take a shower again.
I'm not that guy.
I didn't realize Frank and the Boz had something in common.
They have a lot in common. They're both lunatics too. Anyway, so he then he sits around and watches movies all day long. That's all he does. He eats at exactly the same times every day. That's all he does.
So in other words, he could work out at 11 o'clock
9.
or 2 in the afternoon.
Chuck,
or
2
something.
trips ago when I went to Iowa, I was like, Dad, I'm going to be out with my buddies. I don't want to go to the gym at 5, but I want to go to the gym. He's like, and my son was like, come on, Frank, come on. You can go at 8 or 9.
And you go early most of the time
Yes.
and run early.
I'm like, I'm on vacation. I'm not going early.
Right,
So
right.
she had him talked into it for about an hour, and he's like, he's so inflexible. He's inflexible on the thermostat. He's inflexible on the time he works out. He's inflexible on the times he eats. He's inflexible on everything.
I'm kind of getting like that in my old age.
Don't.
I think that's
Okay, you
old
should come out
people.
tonight and watch the band.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So he has OCD.
Among other things, he's anal retentive and he has OCD. And he's old. And he's here's the thing. When you get to that point, you don't have to do anything.
You don't.
And so he chooses not to. He chooses not to run. Just like Jerry Seinfeld.
When does he listen to the show?
Usually between 10 and 1, I guess. Hopefully not today, though.
He's listening right now. He's like that punk kid of mine. I'm going to have to set him straight.
He knows. We had a big debate over the thermostat. I mean, I'm sure people have had this. You go back and you stay with your family, like if they're older. And my dad will just not put he wanted it like 75, 70. And it's like, we can't sleep in 76.
That's really hot.
Yeah, well, luckily I got the basement couch. My son is in the bed upstairs in the guest room, and they have flannel sheets on the bed. I was happy to have a place to stay and not have to pay for a hotel, but my son, I walk in there every morning and he'd be like, oh, Dad.
He's bursting into flames.
I'm like, hey, try sleeping on the uncomfortable couch in the basement. At least it's cold, though. It wasn't bad.
Do you have a fan?
No.
See, if you had a
I
fan,
should have bought
that
him
would
a
make
fan.
it better.
Yeah, we could have gone to Target and got like a $20 box fan. Would have saved the.
left
It's
it there.
amazing how much the fan makes a difference.
Oh, a fan makes all the difference
All
in
the
the
difference.
world.
Baby
it could be
changes
80
everything.
degrees, but you got air blowing on you. You feel comfortable.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry I killed the whole segment with that, but anyway.
Oh, that was good.
All right, so let's get to the Red White Report. Russ, do we have anything for the Red White Report? Oh, Christian, do you have the list of all the contracts that were signed by the Razorbacks?
No, I did see one though.
I saw Black, I saw
Saw Black.
Smith, and I saw Walsh.
Oh, I did see Walsh too.
Walsh isn't making a
Well,
lot.
he was
I mean, he's making a lot more than we are, but I mean, he does not
he was
make
a
it.
second round guy.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, all right. Well, let's see if we can pull that up real
Okay.
quick in short order. I could have given you a heads up.
Ricky Council played yesterday too, by the way.
Did he?
That
What did
was
he
the
do?
only thing I had. 8 points.
Why don't we play the open?
The Red White Report is brought to you by Big O Tires, with locations in Conway on Harkrider and in Cabot on Prospect Court. Big O Tires offers an endless selection of wheel and tire combinations. Big O Tires, they have everything you need to fit your budget and style.
Okay, so we get Nick Smith Jr. playing tonight, correct? Against Wembenyama and company?
Right.
Okay. That's one thing.
Anthony Black will play tomorrow, and also Jordan Walsh will play tomorrow. Jordan Walsh plays at 1, and I believe Anthony Black plays at 3:30.
Okay.
Jordan Walsh signed a 4-year deal as a second round draft pick with the Boston Celtics. $7.6 million.
Who?
Jordan Walsh.
2-year deal?
No,
4.
it's a 4.
Oh, 4-year deal for that. Okay, yeah. I thought he was making less than 2 a year. Okay.
And then Nick Smith signed 4 years, $12.65. The first 2 years are guaranteed right at $5 million.
Sorry, I just pulled a West and I was looking up other things. Did you mention Anthony Black's?
I did not. Anthony Black was the
I got
first
his.
to sign.
4 years, $33 million. 2 years guaranteed at nearly 15. That's pretty good money.
Yeah.
He's only got to play a 4-year contract and then he can retire. It's a good deal. I mean, honestly.
He could.
I mean, okay, but you know what's funny? And Pigskin, he'll appreciate this too. We were talking about this the other day with, is that all for the Red White? Can we move on?
I was going to say that Orlando will be playing the Detroit Pistons tomorrow at 4:30 on ESPN if you want to watch Anthony Black.
I do.
And Celtics versus Heat at 2 on NBA TV if you want to watch Jordan Walsh.
So we were looking at Tyrese Halliburton, who just signed a max deal in
Right.
the NBA, Pigskin, and he's making, what do we say, $40 million a year?
Yeah, he's making, it's like a $220 million contract.
So he's making $40 million a year or so.
How is that possible?
His take home is $17 million, and the government gets $15 million.
What has the government done to deserve $15 million of that kid's money?
Thank you. That's what I
If
said.
the government is listening, I got a problem with you people.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
that's insane.
That's confiscatory.
I don't even know what that means, but it
Oh,
sounds
that's
bad.
That's what it is.
But there's so
Your
many.
lawyer mom.
You got to pay your. You got to pay your. You know, your agent. You got to pay your all the reps. You got to pay. There's a jock tax, and then you got to pay just your regular old income tax.
Now let's think about this. You guys are two young, hardworking stars. Okay, you
Who are you
work this
talking
job.
to?
You work that job. Wes is on TV. He's on the radio. You're on the radio. You're a general manager. You're a play-by-play guy. You guys hustle. Okay, you work hard.
We do work
Now
hard.
think about this. So when you make that money, the government's getting their greedy mitts on it. Let's say they're taking 40%, 50%. You know, so probably around 40%.
right.
Okay. Let's say you take some of that money and you're going to invest that money. Then they tax it again on capital gains if you make any of that. Okay. And let's say in a few years, you guys shuffle off this mortal coil and you want to leave some money to your kids and or your grandkids. Then you leave it again to them. And then they're going to go ahead and have an estate tax. They've taxed your money 3 different times already. I mean, that's enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough.
It's about time we throw some tea in a harbor. And
That's
really
what
make a
I'm
stand.
saying. Dress up as Indians, throw the tea in the harbor. Let's do this again. And, you know, I'm not obvious. You should pay your taxes. Jesus said, you render to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, to God what belongs to God. But Caesar needs to quit being so greedy. Okay. Let's just say we have a 20% flat tax. Everybody gives the government 20%. That's enough. They should have enough. When is enough going to be enough? That's what I'm asking.
I'm worried about Tyrese Halliburton. Look, here's the deal.
They shouldn't take his $15 million.
No, I don't think the government should get $15
Not
million
right.
of his 40 if he's making 17. If he's making 30 and they get, that wouldn't work out, would it? I guess if he's getting 25 and they're getting 15, that's okay. I guess I can live with that. But they're getting basically what he's getting.
Right.
That's
yeah,
not
they're making
cool.
equal money as him, and they're not even doing anything.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, Tyrese, thanks for working all those years on your skills and playing basketball. And
If the government wanted that money, maybe they should have got good at basketball.
no doubt, government. You know what? Exactly. Tax thyself, you nerds.
Oh, by the way, the Blackberry Smoke cover was the Stones' Tumbling Dice. Very good.
I'll
They
look
did
for
an
it.
album of Stones covers.
Did you hear the story about Tracy Chapman this week?
No.
So Luke Combs covered Fast Car.
Yeah.
And Tracy Chapman, in the process, has become the only black woman who is a solo writer of a song that topped the country charts.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Oh, that's historic.
It really was.
Like Charlie Pride stuff. I like that.
Very much. Let's get Tom Murphy in here. Tom, there you go. Covered all the bases. I don't know what you got, but that's where we're at. What's happening?
Wow, man. I always love to open the door and like hear where y'all are. And I can't wait to tell my wife about Tracy Chapman. She loves that song. I didn't know that. And so, yeah, man. And if you got to look at every single line of where our taxes went, we'd probably all be throwing up.
Yes. I'm telling you, we need I'm going to put some tea in the Arkansas River. Anyway, Tom, let's talk about yesterday on a much more sober and somber note. And appreciated your write-up today. I didn't get a chance to see any of the video from the Ryan Mallett service yesterday. Obviously, the whole state to some degree is in mourning. Anybody who has been touched by Ryan or knew much about him, I think obviously your heart breaks for him and his family. But I thought you did a nice job in trying to convey some of that, and I appreciate the effort there certainly. And obviously he's a guy that's going to be missed for a long, long time, and I will be remembered as larger than life forever, and probably would have been anyway. And obviously being taken at a young age, even more so.
Absolutely, you captured it all right there. I tell you, I kind of had my impression of Ryan Mallett, very confident guy, borderline arrogant, but, could back up his physical, he could back it up with his arm and his performance and all that kind of stuff. However, the way he was humanized yesterday by all the people who spoke, Scott Surratt, his high school offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach at Texas High, and J.R. Carroll. And then, it was a 3-preacher deal. And the way he was humanized gave me a new perspective. And I knew he was good with the fans, but there was an anecdote I did not get in my coverage, which was with the Patriots, a guy had a write-up, and J.R. Carroll was talking about this. Somebody wrote him up and said, this guy is going to be great. He spends a lot of time with the fans after practice. Basically, something like a third of Ryan Mallett time, a third of the time in Ryan Mallett years or something like that. So JR called him and asked him what did he mean? And it's that Ryan did not want to disappoint any fans. I mean, even though he wasn't, a starting guy with the Patriots, he talked to the kids, he signed autographs, and he did all that with the Patriots. And JR had a really touching segment where he talked about, and I wrote about this today, that anyone who came in contact with Ryan, like, they could feel like his friend because the way he talked to him, and that Ryan ended up giving a piece of himself to everyone. And he said to Debbie Mallett, Ryan's mom, everyone here who is here today is here because Ryan gave a piece of himself to them, and now they're all here giving those pieces back to you. And it was incredibly moving.
Yeah, I read that this morning. That was the one that definitely resonated with me the most. The morning guys got into a discussion about Razorback quarterbacks and the Mount Rushmore, and obviously it's something you could spend a week on, certainly not just a segment on. But where do you put Ryan? And I mean, again, it seems maybe a little soon and almost irrelevant in the big scheme of things. But I mean, he's a guy that about as good a 2-year run as you can imagine, I would think.
Huh. Just imagine if he'd have been, a 4-year guy or even a 3-year guy. He'd have numbers that no one could catch, or maybe not could catch. I would put him on there. And I think, Tyler Wilson's numbers were huge, Brandon Allen's, and then the current guy, KJ Jefferson. I mean, I think basically you'd say he already deserves a spot. But certainly if he puts up numbers this year, he could be the main guy on there, like George Washington, man. And let's not forget, Freddie Marshall and Montgomery. These guys, they had good quarterbacks in the championship years too. Joe Ferguson.
Yep.
Billy Moore.
So I'm being, I'm being very recency biased. But because the passing game has opened up in the last several decades, those guys have better numbers. But yeah, Billy Moore, a lot of guys.
And the Arkansas Sports Hall of Famer Clint Sterner. Let's not forget him too. Old Red.
Quinn Grovey.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Matt Jones.
Ron Calcagney.
It's tough to narrow it down to 4.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm. Tom, I
Kevin
really
Scanlon
enjoy.
had the record.
Yeah, I really
How many
enjoyed
quarterbacks can you name?
his.
I'm like, let me think.
Scott Bull. Greg
John
Taylor.
Rutledge. Let me see here. Who was
Robert Johnson.
Who was the big quarterback that played in Rutledge's time that went down?
Steamboat Willie.
That went down.
John Rutledge time.
When Rutledge had to come in and
Yeah.
he filled in that one game or two. But who was the big quarterback that was playing then? Hampton.
Robbie Hampton.
Robbie, is it Robbie?
Robbie
Yeah.
Hampton. Mhm.
We're going deep in the well there. Anyway,
Yeah.
Tom, sorry.
I wanted you to touch it's offense coordinator in high school because he had some really good stories. I love the golf story.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't think we have to excuse reminiscing about the great quarterback because I think the people who are listening, they want to hear all that too, and they're thinking the same things in their head. Going back through the years as a great quarterback. But yeah, Scott Surratt was funny. The preacher got onto him later and said, Paul Young was his name. He said, "You're like a Baptist preacher." He said, "You said I'm about to finish about 4 different times," and everybody got a kick out of that. But he had a ton of stories. The Mallet wasn't super good in golf, and I don't remember the details of the story. But the first time he saw him was a funny story. He's like 6'3" already, maybe in the 5th, 6th grade, and he says he's a bumbling this kid, and we're doing a stretch before practice, and his feet are so big, he just looks awkward. And Jim Mallet, his dad, was standing nearby, and somebody made the comment, "Well, he's a awkward looking kid." And Jim Mallet says, "Just wait till you see him throw." And that was just his stock and trade was a huge, big arm, and then a big heart. And I think the state has tried to do Ryan Mallett's memory right in the last week or so. I know you guys have talked about him on your show a lot. You probably had a lot of guests. Interestingly, Brandon Allen, I talked to him, and he called Ryan a polarizing guy. And I think what he meant by that was he was just sometimes, challenge his teammates, get on to them if they weren't doing stuff right. And that probably led to a little bit of friction. But it was all in the interest of, doing well as a team, completing passes, completing drives. And so I'll tell you this, the show of support from the teammates of his era, like every guy he probably completed a pass to was there yesterday. And all the big ones, Jarius Wright, Joe Adams. I didn't see all the folks behind me, so I'm not sure of Kobe Hamilton, but certainly another Texas High kid, and Ben Cleveland, DJ Williams, Greg Childs, they were all there. Chris Gregg, all of them were there.
When he was in the 8th grade, had just moved, I guess, to Texas High. The coach let him work out with the varsity. They didn't tell him anything about him, and as practice went along, and he's showing out. The starting quarterback, there were guys saying, "You got some competition this year. You got somebody." And it wasn't until after practice they let him know he's an 8th grader.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tom, I saw him play at Texas High. I went down there after Michigan signed him, and I was telling somebody at our church, Michigan's got this quarterback. I think he's going to be fantastic. And I mentioned who it was. This guy had played baseball against his father, Jim Mallet. He said Jim Mallet was a Nolan Ryan type pitcher. He said, so, the gifts that God parcels out to people, apparently that thunderbolt right arm ran in the family.
If you'd like to know why I'm talking about sports instead of playing, let me introduce you to Frank. I'm lucky I got out of my genetics as I could, guys. You know what I mean? So, he had a little gift there, but he obviously developed it well. So I would have paid money, guys, and I know you all would have too, to be a fly on the wall in a few of those quarterback meetings with Petrino. Can you imagine? I mean, Ryan's a pretty headstrong guy too. I can only imagine. Those guys were that must have been interesting.
Well, I think it was Tyler Wilson on Neighbor's show that was talking about that Petrino and Mallet had a different relationship than Petrino and Tyler Wilson.
Yeah.
And that Tyler got a lot more crap than Ryan did.
It was the franchise. He had to treat him with kid gloves. Yeah.
Tyler, it's every time I saw him go off on Tyler, I always saw Tyler kind of chuckle or laugh. Like he just sort of, what are you going to do? I mean, you're not going to go back. But Mallet, I'm sure, probably went back at him a few times.
I bet.
Too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think Mallet was much more willing to give and get. You know what I mean? Like, talk back, so to speak, to Petrino. And I don't think Tyler Wilson was, raised the same way. J.R. Carroll talked about the Mallet family as being a loud family. A National Geographic should study them family. And Tyler was just, a little more quiet, a little more reserved. And,
Right.
and he did talk about how they had different personalities. And I don't think Tyler was as suited, like, mentally to just take on Petrino. And another interesting tidbit that I can't remember if it was JR or Scott Surratt brought up that that Petrino would jump all over Mallett, but wouldn't really praise him. And he said that's what Garrett McGee was for. And so they had the kind of the good cop, bad cop.
Got
thing.
to. Yep, that's a good arrangement for sure. Talking about, I was like, I like the Mallett family, and I don't even know them, but I'm like, I can relate to these people because I come from a loud family. And they were like, they said National Geographic loud, and I was like, okay, I think I can relate to these people. These are my kind of folks. So anyway, it was good stuff. Well, I'm glad that there were, and I thought you summed it up nice. I mean, there were some tears, but a lot of laughs, and that's the right way to do it, obviously, and to celebrate a life that was unfortunately short but well lived. So, anything else happened on the Hill, Tom, before we let you go?
Well, it was just a superb ceremony, and I shouldn't leave out that Lauren, his sister, has a beautiful singing voice, and his niece sang a duet with her, and then Lauren sang one by herself, and it was very moving. It was dancing in the sky, and I want to say there was like a rumble of thunder when she started to sing that song, and I thought, wow, what's going on here? But it was a very well organized, well run ceremony. The Mallett family, outstanding. I was out at the lodge, in near Stuttgart when the draft thing happened, and Ryan was not happy. Ryan was disappointed and mad that he didn't go as early as he thought he would. And luckily, he had JR and some family members to help tone him down. And I think going to the Patriots for 5 years or 4 years was a pretty good deal for him, man. Learning with Tom Brady, and you saw the respect that Brady, Bill Belichick, and others expressed about Ryan Mallett as well.
For sure. He will, obviously be missed. So, but it's going to be able to reminisce a little bit about that this week. It's just, it's wild stuff for sure. Tom, I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much, and enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, hey, eyes out on the MLB draft. See how it impacts Razorback baseball this weekend. Take care, y'all.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, and I saw Sunday, D1 Baseball ranked the top college players by position. The top left-handed pitcher, according to D1 Baseball, available in the draft, Hunter Holland.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that's
Good for him.
Exactly what I thought, too.
We got some special guests coming up. Sorry, Wes. After the break, our friends from the Arkansas Beef Council and Corky's are both going to be in here. So we're going to talk some meat on the other side, if you're cool with that.
Be a good time to go down to Oaklawn this weekend, dodge some rain, hot weather, go inside. Got Ricky Skaggs and the Kentucky Thunder coming July 14th. The Four Tops August 25th. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band September 10th. Always great entertainment at Oaklawn. Go to oaklawn.com to get your tickets. While you're there, you can get your reservation for a hotel room and stay this weekend at Oaklawn. Great places to eat. You got the Astral Spa. You got the indoor-outdoor pool. And, of course, the casino, the sports book. Just a great weekend to go down to Oaklawn and have a little weekend getaway. It's Oaklawn down in Hot Springs.
All right, 11:34. It is, I don't know if it's national or statewide or just Central Arkansas Burger Week, and so we are celebrating beef in the state. We were talking about the running of the bulls earlier. That's our question of the day today. If you had an all-expense paid trip to run with the bulls, would you do it? I said yes. Everybody else said no, but then I got them rethinking it, and somebody said, well, they kill them at the end. I said, yes, they're edible. You know, I don't know if you heard. We like meat, and it's pretty exciting. So I think everybody should be celebrating that.
I like meat.
We all do. We all like meat, exactly. So, Wes, yes, you have something?
No.
Oh, you look like you were
No.
ready to say something. Anyway, we've got Dawnette Span with us. She's with the Arkansas Beef Council, and Josh Perrette with Corky's Barbecue. Good to see a decent-looking face from over at Corky's for once. Joe was out of town and can't hear anything I say, so I can say whatever I want, but we appreciate Joe most of the time anyway. We always talk about underrated burgers. You guys have an underrated burger. The Pigskin is going to give me a thumbs up over there.
Outstanding.
Outstanding. There you go. So, all right, let me start with you, Dawnette, about is it Arkansas beef? Is it Arkansas Burger Week or
Rock City Burger Week.
Rock City, which covers the
Since,
metro?
Little Rock, North Little Rock. We actually have a restaurant out of Scott who's
Okay.
participating this year. So, yeah, mostly Little Rock and North Little Rock.
How many restaurants in total?
We have a total of 28.
Is
signed
that a
up.
record?
Yes. Well,
Well-
this is only our third year. So, yeah.
It's okay. We'll take it.
Record's a record.
But yeah, 28.
For all those out there who say first annual, we'll celebrate a third year high. Okay, it's good. So what exactly does it entail? What's the
Well, all the restaurants that have signed up, they're local restaurants. We didn't get any chains unless it was a local Arkansas chain like Corky's, and we had them do a specific burger, whether it's their signature burger, whether it's a unique burger they just created for Rock City Burger Week, but they're selling it for just $9.
Okay.
We have some that are their signature. It's just a regular burger, you know, lettuce, tomato, cheese. And then we've got some like Corky's, as you can tell. It's barbecue, cheddar, onion rings. Oh my gosh, just magnificent burgers all around. And but for $9, and they can get this just for this week, next week, the 10th, July 10th through the 16th.
Joe usually comes up on Wednesdays, and that is Chicken Day for you guys. So I'm sorry, I know that's a dirty word around over here, but well, you guys do have great burgers. What is your best-selling burger?
Probably going to be the bacon cheddar burger,
Is it
or
really?
just our normal burgers called the Big Joe burger, named it after himself. of
I have
course.
to give a line about the Big Joe burger. He puts chili on it. A hamburger with chili and cheese and
Yeah.
onions. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I think that's Joe's favorite.
Yes, you take a meat piece and then you put meat soup on it. It's a good thing. I'm into it. So
Absolutely.
So what? Tell me about what goes on with the council. I guess through the year. What's the role and the goal?
Well, the Arkansas Beef Council is funded by the beef producers of Arkansas. Every head of cattle that's sold is assessed $1. That goes towards research, promotion, education, advertising, just trying to get the word out about beef to people, how to cook it, how to buy it. You know, if you're trying to celebrate, you don't go out and say, hey, let's go get a chicken breast. You say, hey, let's go get a steak.
Right.
So this is just our way to, hey, this is the best way to cook a steak. This is the best steak for this occasion, or this is the kind of ground beef you need, or just whatever. But we try to educate consumers, because what's the biggest thing they do when they mess it up? They overcook it.
Right.
Well, we're going to show them how to cook it right and the right temperatures and everything
I gotcha.
What's the best steak for the lake?
for the lake.
Uh-huh.
Well, the best steak period's a ribeye. So that's up to you.
I'm with you. I probably eat more fillets than anything, but I love ribeyes.
I actually went and saw our friends the other day at the butcher shop.
Yep.
And I got a ribeye.
Yeah.
And I'm normally a fillet guy.
It's got more marbling.
It was
Yes.
awesome. It
Yeah.
was
a
good.
lot more juicy.
Fattest
tender.
flavor,
By
my
the way,
friends.
whoever put the barbecue sauce on that burger, I never do that. That was really good.
Yeah, that's our Corky's barbecue
That's
sauce.
really good.
Yeah, it's killer.
Man.
How are we doing as far? Where does Arkansas rank? Are we in the? Do you know the rankings on beef
The number of
consumption?
cattle
No,
or
like beef consumption.
Well, we're in the South, and we're
We're doing
so
our part. I mean, I know
our,
that.
our biggest thing that we sell is ground beef,
Mhm.
by far, just because it's easy, it's cheaper.
Mhm.
But I don't know how we rank beef consumption wise. I mean, we can't compare to New York and
Right.
California, and but we're pretty high up there. We're number 11 in cattle numbers, so in beef cattle numbers. But consumption, I mean, we usually don't rank too high on that, just because we're competing against all the other bigger states.
Yeah, that's hard, I guess. So when you say 11, that's in total. That's not per capita.
That's total beef cattle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mamas, babies, bulls, everything.
Gotcha.
Where's the main place or the part of the state with all the cattle?
Northwest, which is surprising because it's also the biggest, fastest growing part of the state.
Mhm.
That's where most of the cattle are.
Yeah.
Is in Northwest. Mostly the whole west side of the state, but Northwest is huge.
Well, most of the cattle want to live up there because of the schools and stuff. So
yeah,
they've heard a lot of good things
It's
about
too
it.
rocky to be good farmland, but the cows like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love cliff cows. That's my kind of deal. So, Josh, what's your background?
I restaurant industry. I started off young, just working, hosting, bussing tables, and just kind of worked my butt off on my way up. And then I met Tommy Hilburn, Joe's partner.
Yep.
And Tommy, 8-9 years ago, he said, "Hey, come on down." I was living in Fayetteville at the time, bartending up there, and
So we sent the cows up there and brought you down here.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Fair trade though.
Yeah, very much.
I
I think we came out way ahead.
And then I started managing for him, and I did that for 5-6 years, and I knew I wanted to move up. So me and a couple other guys formed together, made him an offer, and we came on as partners about 2.5 years ago.
How about that?
Yes, sir.
That's cool. So, it's funny. Like I would go to, I would take my son, and I have, you guys have all had family members like this. Like we'll go to a Mexican place and they'll get a cheeseburger. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So when people come into Corky's, I mean, you don't first think burger, but
Right.
it is a very popular item, and it is probably one of the most underrated things on the menu.
Absolutely. And, we put Joe's name on it to make sure that everybody sees it, of course.
Makes sense.
But the Big Joe Burger, I mean, we mow through some ground beef weekly. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you guys knock out the chili on there too?
We do a good chili burger too. We got 5 or 6 different different kinds of burgers,
Versions of
but
them, yeah.
yeah, for sure. But the chili burger is definitely one that we provide as well.
I like that. Now, you guys have a burger with pulled pork on it?
It used to be on the menu. You could still order it if you really want it. It's pulled pork burger, and we used to have a mac and cheese burger too. We kind of, we tinkered around and we kind of see which ones people like, and those are the ones we kept on.
So this is mac and cheese mixed in, or was it on top like a topping?
On kind of top, well, on top, but then you melt the pepper jack and the shredded cheese on top of it, so it kind of melds into one big old bite.
Well, maybe we should do that with pulled pork and
you
then
go.
some chili over the top.
There you go.
You guys are like artistes. I like this.
No, we're like disgusting people. Yes, we're like, how many calories can I get on one plate?
Somebody's a burger. The other two guys are.
I don't fool around. And the onion ring's nice.
I'm
touch.
sorry, we're out of
Yeah.
time, everybody.
Sorry.
We're time to go to the break now. There is something. So I didn't tell you guys about this. There are 2 things, and you'll appreciate this. And I need to get a place that will do these. You're welcome to have them. You can look around and find a menu or find a recipe, I'm sure. So there are 2 things I have. There's a place that I go to in Des Moines when I go back and see my family, and it's a place called Skips. And they have 2 things on the menu that I've never seen anywhere in Arkansas. Number 1 is a rarebit burger. Have you ever had a rarebit burger?
Never heard of
So
it.
it's like an open face burger. They used to be really popular at the Yonkers Tea Room, which is Yonkers is a department store for those who aren't familiar. Anyway, but they put a very sharp cheddar cheese sauce over and just smother it in it. You would dig it. And then the other thing is steak de Burgo, which is like a kind of a garlic oil sauce that goes over a filet typically. Sometimes they make it with bird too, but we don't approve of that, do we? We want to focus on the steak. But I would love to see somebody here do either or both of those because I would eat there a lot.
Yeah.
So good. I got I did get a good, what was I just talking about?
Recipe?
Yeah, the burger sauce.
Uh-huh.
I got the cheese sauce recipe, so I'm going to whip some up and bring them in here.
You know what they do up in the Midwest, in Iowa, Nebraska, other places? They do a breaded pork tenderloin.
Mhm.
It's like a chicken fried steak, but they make a sandwich out of it. I had that at the Kansas City Royals baseball stadium. Oh my goodness! I'm like, if you guys are looking for any more menu items, that might
They go crazy for it up there. It is not my jam. Never
You don't-
has
you don't
been.
like it
I
that
do
much?
not. I don't think it's
I was
very
nuts about it.
I don't think it's very satisfying.
Okay.
And I always feel disgraceful after I eat it.
Well,
Awful.
I felt ashamed, but God will forgive you for moments of laxity.
Josh, my current co-host has a little more self-control than my former co-host. And every time Joe used to come up here, he would talk about trying to do a rib eating. Joe, I can eat 4 racks of ribs. I can eat 8 racks of ribs. We just had the hot dog eating contest. I think you guys, does anybody do a rib contest? Like a rib eating contest?
I mean, rib eating contest?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I know there's definitely cook-offs, who can make the best kind of ribs, but that
We
would
don't
be
care about that.
I was going to say, that'd be real interesting to see who could put down the most racks, though.
Yeah, you'd have to do it by weight because you got to make sure that people are picking it clean. But I think you could do a start and end weight over
Yeah.
10 10 minutes and
Because
see
it's
if
got
you
all
can
the
knock it out.
bones in there too. 'cause
Right.
You got to think that that's
The
gonna
big
count for
advantage
something.
of that would be avoiding the hot dog buns.
Mm-hmm.
Having done that for Basil and Roger, I ate 8 hot dogs in 10 minutes. It wasn't the hot dogs; it was the buns. The buns just kill you.
Did you
why
dip them
you
in
said-
water?
That's why you're supposed to. Yeah,
No, I
that's-
didn't dip
yeah,
them in
yeah.
water.
Soak it
That's
in the water.
disgusting.
Yeah.
I know, but that's disgusting.
Well, at Corky's, you'd have to do like for every rack of ribs, you got to eat like 4 bread rolls or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and bread and honey.
Joey
There you go.
Chestnut's been talking this week. He was on Pat McAfee's show this week, and he was talking about new records he wants to set. He said, I'd love to get a sushi record. I want to go to Alaska and do king crab. Who don't? And he said Taco Bell. That would be a fun one. That would be probably the last contest he ever
Yeah.
competes in.
Taco Bell, that would rock.
Yeah,
man.
it would.
Yeah.
How
And
many
it would kill you.
chalupas can he smash?
Exactly.
Don't they do like a party pack of 20? See how many you can put down?
I don't know. I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more worried about coming over and smashing racks of ribs, though. So anyway, anything else we want to hit on here? I guess where do we find the list of restaurants that are participating, and do they have their burgers listed on there?
Rock City, RockCityBurgerWeek.com has all the burgers listed, their pictures, the address of the restaurants. And they're updating that every day just to make sure we have the latest information on each burger. Like I said, we have 28 restaurants involved. One of the big things that we couple things. One, we're giving away a PK Go grill for anybody who visits 4 or more restaurants and they upload their receipts to the website.
Okay.
And we'll put them in for a drawing for a PK Go grill.
Oh, yeah.
And also proceeds are going to the Arkansas Food Bank. For the first 1,000 burgers that are sold, the Arkansas Beef Council is doing a $1,000 donation. And then we're also putting QR codes on all the tables so patrons can donate money while they're waiting for their burger to be served.
Nice.
So
my.
we don't have a goal because we just want it to be like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So whatever we can get for the food bank.
I'm telling you right now, I'm looking through the Facebook page, and some of these burgers have got me feeling a little bit naughty. I mean, these are just ridiculous. There are some just insane ones.
Well, give us an example.
Well, I don't want to talk about other people's restaurants with Josh here, but I mean, bottom line is there's some that are just about as tall as you are.
Oh, really?
There's just ridiculous. Like I don't even know how you get your mouth around some of these. It's ridiculous. When I was in college, we used to go to this local place, and they would let you build your own burger we would go up there on Saturdays, and then when Iowa State was playing out of town, we go up there and build our own burger. So like one day I got everything on it. It looked like a Dagwood, but it was a burger. It was ridiculous. So that was a good hour worth of work.
See, you guys are too young to remember a chain called Burger Chef, probably. But they had this fixins bar. I mean, they have lettuce and tomato and onions and pickles. I remember a little kid, you get a plain hamburger, then the hamburger would be like this tall. I
Yeah.
always thought that was a real great accomplishment.
Those are good
It was all
times.
vegetables. So, there you go.
Rock, go ahead. Yeah, anything else? Okay, sorry. RockCityBurgerWeek.com. Again, if you want to support, and obviously it's for a good eat burgers for a good cause. I mean, come on, forget about it. Do y'all have any other big beef events? Is there like Rock City Steak Week, or do we do any of that?
No, not yet.
We should
but
really-
that
hey,
could be
listen,
something we could think about.
I'm an idea guy, I'm just saying. So I'm about that. If you need any help with that, we're happy to promote that as well. So, well, Josh, thanks for the grub. I appreciate it in advance. I can't wait to eat it. I know it's great.
Outstanding. Thank you, my friend.
And Donette, good luck with everything, and thanks for coming up. And I hope you guys raise a whole bunch of money. That's a great cause.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Excellent.
Big O Tires. Right now, $100 off select set of tires. I know a lot of people will be taking some trips, vacations. Got to have a good set of tires. You don't want to have a blowout. You don't want to be hydroplaning. It's dangerous for you, your passengers, and other people on the road. So go buy Big O Tires in Cabot and Conway. 2 great locations, big selection of tires. Plus, they have the Big O Tire, and then they'll work on your car too. If you need a little maintenance done before you head out on a trip, swing on by Big O Tires in Cabot. It's Prospect Court, right in front of Kroger. In Conway, they're on Hark Riders. Big O Tires, the team we trust.
It is 11:53. We're watching some Wimbledon here in the break, and if you haven't been keeping up with it, it's entertaining stuff. Even for those of us who don't play tennis, really, it is really good to watch. I love it. That's on my bucket list, Pigskin. I think I'd rather go to Wimbledon than Augusta for the Masters.
I've been at center court at Wimbledon.
Are you serious?
I got pictures. I'll
During
show 'em to
Wimbledon?
you. Well, no, they weren't
Okay.
playing, but I got in.
Okay, I want
Took
to
a tour of the grounds, and
Yeah.
I thought, wouldn't it be great if my mediocre game could have graced these hallowed grounds?
I mean, how much money would you pay to play any of the courts at Wimbledon? Wouldn't that be great?
It'd be incredible.
Yeah, that'd be a cool
The grass is, well, I'll tell you, it's like playing on a green on a golf course. That's about how the grass is.
Yes,
Would you rather play at Wimbledon or Augusta?
Augusta.
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 But I don't
Making
play
sure.
tennis.
Wimbledon's in the top 5, though. No question about a sports destination. It's a mecca.
Well, it is look, it's a bucket list for a lot of people, and a lot of people get very excited when they're there.
No
And apparently that has been an issue this year because tournament organizers have issued a warning against inappropriate use of a designated quiet room meant for prayer and meditation. It's over near Court 12. The chief executive of the All England Lawn Tennis Club emphasized the importance of the sanctuary and called for respectful use of the room. She said it's a really important space, so we'll be retaining it and we'll be making sure that people are using it the right way. Apparently, there are accounts of sounds of intimacy that have been emanating from the room on occasion, causing concerns about its proper use.
So you're supposed to be praying, and they're going in there kind of getting busy?
Oh,
Well,
somebody's talking to God.
That's There we go.
Thank you very much.
That was good, Wes.
That is that might be the most hilarious thing you've ever said on this show. and
That
that's saying
that
something.
seems a bit blasphemous that those heathen would be doing that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem the right thing to do.
No.
I also think, no offense, I mean, look, more sympathetic I could not be. That's a fun way to spend a day. But the thing is, I'm guessing if I'm going to Wimbledon, we'll hold off. I don't want to have sex at Wimbledon that
Well,
much.
You'd think people just have no decorum anymore.
They really don't.
Man.
Have a little class, people.
Could be a bucket list.
Yes.
We're trying to have a civilization.
Yeah, exactly. Very much.
There's
Oh,
probably
my
not
God.
many people that can say they've had sex at Wimbledon.
That's true. I mean, that's like that's a whole different level than the Mile High
It's
Club.
probably Bjorn Borg back in the day because he was like all 4 Beatles rolled into one.
Yes, maybe so. Pat Fitzgerald's catching heat, Pigskin. I'm sure you saw this. Northwestern's implementing several measures to curb hazing within its football program, including a 2-week suspension. 2 whole weeks of Pat Fitzgerald after an investigation found evidence to support a claim of problematic conduct. You know what's problematic? The fact that they went 1-11 last
Yeah,
year.
Pat needs to curb not having a quarterback or an offense. That might be a place to start.
Yeah, if he keeps it up, they're going to mistake him for Iowa. 1-11 last year, 3-9 the previous year, 7-2, 3-9 over 4 years, 14-31. But in 17 seasons, I looked this up. He's had 9 winning seasons, and at Northwestern, that is no small feat. He's had 3 10-win seasons in his time at Northwestern. I think he's safe, and I don't know exactly what the details are of the hazing, but obviously it wasn't too terrible because he got a 2-week
Well,
suspension.
keep in mind he's a legend and a hero and a local product from Northwestern.
Right.
And they don't really care if they win. They're kind of like the Vanderbilt
Right.
of the Big Ten. If they win, great. If they don't, they're still going to be, everyone's boss in a few years, so they don't care.
Can you imagine Vanderbilt having 3 10-win seasons?
No.
Franklin won a little bit when he was there.
He did.
He's
I didn't think South Carolina could do it either, and then we saw what they did. So
they could be a problem the next couple of years.
they might be
They're recruiting really well. Beamer seems like a pretty sharp guy, so
likable.
we'll see.
Yeah, he's fun. I wanted to mention this too. We've been talking a little baseball, I guess, of late. Jordan Wicks, I was talking about him the other day.
Yeah.
He's having a great year. He just got called up to the AAA Cubs recently. He's a Conway High School legend. His last year there, 11-1 with a .86 ERA, and had a really, really good run. He also got picked in the first round of the Major League Draft in 2018 after playing his college baseball at Kansas State. And he told the story. He was 21st overall in the 21 draft, by the way, and told the story this week about what he was doing when he got called up to AAA.
25 feet from the blackjack table in Cherokee, North Carolina. We had gone to, so me and my wife we had 2 off days, like everybody did. And so we thought, let's go to Cherokee, North Carolina. There's like a casino resort, a golf course, over there, and let's get away for 2 days. So we get there, check in, unpack our bags, and we're headed down to look for something to eat. And we're walking through the casino part, my phone rings, and they go, hey, you're going to AAA. I said, gonna be a slight problem. I'm about 2 hours away from Tennessee right now, and so, but we made it work. We stayed there that night, drove back to Tennessee, packed everything up, and then we flew out Tuesday straight to Omaha.
Makes your casino trip a little more enjoyable, right? He called up from AA to AAA. Pretty cool. Good to see Jordan Wicks rising up through the ranks. Wouldn't surprise me to see him in Chicago in the not too distant future. By the way, we talked about Isaiah Campbell a lot this week. Did not play yesterday in relief, but we'll see if he gets on the mound today. All right, welcome back. It is 12:08. Sorry, we were debating some things or discussing some things in the break. We got a full house here in the studio. Thank God COVID's over. We could have never pulled this off back in the day. Eli Craner's here. He's already on mic. Philip is scrambling around for some headphones to get him straightened out. Philip Martin's here from the Democrat
Yeah, I didn't
Gazette.
bring my own today.
You can read both these guys in the Democrat Gazette, which is great.
It's right on Sundays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two guys who write and two guys who read. Amazing. So
it reminds me of the old Bill Hicks routine.
excuse me for one moment. Pigskin's here, Christian's here, and I'm here. I'm Justin, by the way. Sorry.
It's entertainment news, and it's news we've been following all day.
Victor Wembanyama's been put behind bars for assaulting Britney Spears.
No charges will be filed in the altercation between Britney and his security. Police are saying this. No charges.
Hit
That
me,
puts an
baby,
end
one
to the
more
story.
time.
Can we can drop it now? Can Britney drop it, or will she keep on?
What do you think?
She's gonna be like Mariah Mills on Zion. She's just
This is
never gonna let it
toxic.
go.
Just toxic.
Poor Zion. What do you think he did for his birthday? He probably was hiding under a rock, wasn't he? He's just
Yeah,
like,
I
God,
didn't
how long
hear
do I have to
anything.
do this
I think
before
he's
this
staying
blows
off
over?
social media.
That's
Yeah,
a good
for now.
plan.
Probably a good move. Anyway.
Today's entertainment report is brought to you by Bell and Sword Gentlemen's Clothing in Conway. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram, or stop by Bell and Sword at 1016 Oak Street in Conway.
Let me ask you two adventurous types, Eli and Philip. I've already talked to these jamokes about it. Today is the start of the running of the Bulls. All expenses paid trip today. Philip's already saying no, sir. No thanks, no interest. Was there a period of time where a more adventurous, younger, slightly more athletic, Philip, because you're still pretty athletic for a man of your age.
I'd pull a hamstring.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bad move.
Yeah.
In
No,
that situation.
I just know that. I
picked
just know
a
I'd pull a hamstring. Yeah.
You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. That'd be a bad time to lose a hammy.
Yeah.
How about you, Eli? You're still young and fit.
Yeah, I'm for it, man. Hemingway, I'm a huge Hemingway guy.
Yep.
Hemingway's got all the bullfighter stuff and all expense paid. I wouldn't care.
I'll go with you. I'll carry your bags.
Yeah.
Remember what Papa Hemingway said, though. Life breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at the broken places.
Yeah.
But I don't think he meant the Bulls will break you.
Yeah.
No, but if
But
they
they
do,
will.
They could.
yes, they could. So this new, because we've all been sitting around and saying, what do we always talk about? I wish there was more social media. So Instagram's like, you know what? We're going to go after that loser Elon Musk, and now they've got this new thing called Threads. Is anybody planning to get a Threads account? That could be a question of the day for next week. But
No, I'm waiting for it all to implode Twitter, and then I'm just gonna be done.
Yeah.
Like that's what if it all goes down, like every day, the writing community, these authors, it moves the needle none, but we're like are required to do it. And they say, hey, come find me on Buzz Social or whatever. And they have like 3 followers.
Right.
And then the next day they're like, come find me on this one. And I'm just, if it goes down.
as a writer, you
I'm
don't want to
out.
promote your stuff on there, though?
Well, you get on in self-defense. I mean, that's the only reason I have any account at all.
It's just a distraction. Man.
Yeah.
Like it's
These
hard.
two are brilliant.
Yeah, but the difference is in between. Well, you actually had a little political illusion not long ago,
Yeah,
too.
it did.
Yeah.
The problem with you is, in between writing these flowery, beautiful, romantic pieces about baseball and your father, you jab it to the man occasionally.
Yeah. Twitter's an ugly place. I mean, I just don't look at it.
I live in happy Twitterville. I'm telling you, I say it
Okay.
over
Yeah.
and over again, man. I espouse happiness and joy and fun and nonsense, and that's what I get back typically.
Yeah.
People do not come at me,
Yeah.
but I do not talk about Democrats and Republicans ever.
Yeah.
So
It's a good motto.
you reap what you sow, right?
Sure.
Don't look at me.
My chickens come back, and that's where they roost. That's what Malcolm X told me to say in this case.
I
so.
put a picture of a dog that was being teased with a treat, and I put words in the dog's mouth and said, I will kill you, Ernesto. And they banned me for threatening physical violence. I'm like, it's a dog video.
You should email Elon. He would let you back on now. But he says, I don't want it now.
They can all drop dead. I'm not having anything to do with any of it.
He doesn't want to be on Twitter. He wants to complain about Twitter on this show.
I do want to complain about
And
Twitter.
by
and I
God,
like you guys.
That's what we're here for, buddy. We're
That'll
here for you.
show them.
That's right. You're doggone right, Philip.
I really don't need to talk about any of this stuff, and most of it's not going to be as interesting as anything you guys have. I want to let you know that Pepsi has come up with Pepsi Pineapple, and it's exclusive to Little Caesars. So 2 things you probably won't ever have: Little Caesars and Pepsi Pineapple.
Do you know I'm drinking a Diet Pepsi with vanilla from Double B's right now?
I like that.
It's really good.
Yes.
But they don't have pineapple. I'll try it.
I'm actually going to go gas it there later, and you grabbed it and you went.
And I will go.
Yes, you
That's
will.
right.
All right, last thing here, and then this rest of the stuff can wait till. Like, do we need to talk about Kevin Spacey maybe being a grooming child molester, or Toby Keith coming back on stage? As much as I'm excited about Toby Keith news,
Kaiser Soze, say it ain't so.
Yeah, exactly. What was it?
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he doesn't exist.
Exactly right. Turns
Baudelaire.
out that devil was Kevin Spacey. Yeah, he could walk just fine. Turned out that son of a gun. What a sneak. All right, so real quick here, last thing. Kim Kardashian apparently really let her hair down on the 4th of July at the white party. And by the way, I got to get an invite to this Michael Rubin thing. Put that on the list. Wimbledon, Augusta, Michael Rubin's party. I mean, it was a who's who. But I'm thinking, you know what? Here's the deal. It's kind of like you and Twitter. All these people are there, and I'm like, I don't want to be just one of those people. Like, sure, everybody who's anybody is there, but I'm like, you know, like Leo. Leo could be like, I'm bigger than all these idiots. I don't have to go to this thing. I didn't see Tom Cruise there, by the way. He's probably busy. Anyway, but I mean, Jay-Z's there, Emily Ratajkowski, Kevin Hart.
He was probably at the Scientology.
Kevin Hart,
July
your
4th
man.
party.
Yeah, Kevin Hart.
I know
Really
you love
funny.
Kevin Hart.
Happy birthday to him.
Yeah, maybe I guess she did like 11 shots while she was there. I'm like, how old are you? Like, grow up already. Me doing 11 shots at a party. Get out of here. Anyway, that was the one part of the story. Apparently, there was video of her doing a shot and spitting it back out, and she said it was nasty. So I was like, you know what? You don't need to be doing shots. You're a grown woman. Stop it. Anyway, also, Pigskin brought this up earlier. There was talk that she and Tom Brady were getting, I don't know, friendly,
familiar,
comfortable, flirty is what the
Acquainted.
source says. I ain't buying it, man. I mean, she's age appropriate. He's 45. She's 42. I don't hate on Kim Kardashian like a lot of people do, but I just can't see it. It seems to me that he should follow in some other people's footsteps and maybe get something a little less high profile, maybe. Or like Harrison Ford married Callista Flockhart, who was high profile, and then he basically shut her whole career down. Also like Spielberg and Kate Capshaw.
That's right. Kate
You know?
Capshaw.
He gave her a career and then he took it away.
He's like, hey, Kate, you can be in one Indiana Jones film, and then you're done. That's it.
Right.
Now, stay home, and we're going to hang out when I tell you. All right. That's it. So, Eli, what are you doing in town?
I've got an interview a little bit after this with Nicole, KRK.
What are your responsibilities as an author now that the book's been out for a while?
Yeah.
What are your responsibilities in promotion and such?
It just kind of comes in waves. I do have some cool news though, that just like as of today, this next year I'm going to be at Arkansas Tech doing be the writer in residence. So it goes, yeah,
Nice.
nice.
Excellent.
So 2 classes, and then the rest of the time is being a writer. You know, so I don't really know. That's what you were just asking. Like, what does it do? You know, so but like last night I spoke at Governor's School. They have Governor's School down there at Tech, and about 400 soon to be seniors. And so, yeah, telling them, you know, I don't know, a lot of their faces were kind of like Basil's response earlier, like books, you know, thing. But no, I think it went pretty good.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on that. What
Thanks.
are you working on a new one?
The new one, and this is also cool, this week just got sent in. So it'll come out June of 2024. It's called Broiler. It's set in Northwest Arkansas in a chicken processing plant.
All right.
Interesting.
Man, that sounds
Is there murder and
intense.
mayhem?
Yeah, it's a thriller.
Ooh, I like it. Let's go.
Yeah.
We've been talking about beef, so we're not this week. Yeah.
Well, we got to stay up the chicken.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt. All right. Before we do birthdays and such, Philip, let's talk about what's out this week and what has been out. We were talking about the Jennifer Lawrence movie. I had a chance to go see Wes
Yeah.
Anderson's film, and then I call it her movie. It's not really her movie, but she's the star and obviously the driving force behind it.
Yeah, she's the engine behind the
She
whole
was.
thing. Yeah.
I was surprised a woman of her stature was willing to get naked. Now, maybe she had a body double, but to play, to be in a fight where there's nudity, I was just very surprised. Now, it certainly worked. It felt like it had some sort of Kingpin flavor to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it had definitely is a throwback to, you know, those 90s hard R, you know, comedies. And
Boy, Matthew Broderick's really showing his age too. I gotta say, as the dad,
I think he's my age.
you look better than he does.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. But you know, it's sort of like I like her in these kind of projects. I'm not sure that was, you know, I mean, it's her career. She can do what she wants to with it. But she's got a sense of humor, and it is sort of a Cameron Diaz kind of thing to it. And I was happy to see her do this kind of role. Now I have to say this. I think the movie sort of, no spoilers, but I think it kind of copped out at the end and became a little too, you know, conventional.
Sure.
but that's always what happens with Hollywood, just about. I mean, it's sort of like you're not going to get cutting edge, avant-garde stuff. Nobody is going to leave the theater feeling like, oh my God, disconcerted by this.
I
stuff.
walked out
So-
the way I wanted to walk out.
Yeah,
I said that was a
exactly.
fun 2 hours.
Exactly.
And
That's
you
what
got
you-
a Kingpin vibe.
Yeah,
Kingpin.
Kingpin and something about Mary. He just made the reference
Exactly.
that it's
Exactly,
like
that's what
you get a
really-
little bit of like whoa shock value stuff, and there's some kind of edgy things. Like the opening scene in this movie reminds me about because again in Kingpin he's fighting to stay in his apartment or whatever, and she's kind of a
Pump and dump.
she's down on her
Yeah.
she's down on her luck a little bit. So but it's a very fun watch. I will definitely recommend that. The Wes Anderson movie, definitely wait till it comes out because I think you have to watch it 9 times to even understand what the hell's going on.
Well, I think that if you're a Wes Anderson fan,
Yes.
it sort of hits that, it checks all the box for you.
Yes.
It's not. I didn't think it was quite as satisfying as the last one, the French whatever.
The French
Laundry.
Dispatch.
Yeah, French Dispatch.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't. But that was a very specific movie, and if you weren't a fan of the New Yorker magazine, you probably walked away from that. And this is just sort of the similar specificity to it. And I don't know. I always like his movies, but I also kind of wonder if he isn't just making it for. He's in a position where it's real dangerous because he could tip over into that Woody Allen trap really quick and be able to make anything he wants. And that's not always the best thing for an artist to be able to do anything you want.
Hopefully he doesn't marry a stepdaughter.
I still love the Royal Tenenbaums. I don't think he's ever going to
Oh.
make a better movie than that.
The Fantastic Mr. Fox is still my favorite of all his
I like his
projects.
stop action stuff. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Isle of Dogs, I think, is underrated.
Yeah.
I think it's a terrific movie.
That was very well received. I don't
Yeah.
even know that I've seen that.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
All right. What so now we're basically on hold for Mission Impossible?
Basically, I mean, there's some things. Joyride came out this week. I didn't see it. It's supposed to be the big movie this week that, we couldn't get a review of it, and we tried, and Insidious, the horror movie, keeps churning along. Yeah, but this is kind of a fallow week. Everybody is waiting for Mission Impossible, which is coming out Wednesday. And
Yeah,
we'll
we
see how-
debated that yesterday. So Kristen, we talked about this. The IMAX thing. First of all, it is IMAX. It is going to get run out by Oppenheimer, but Barbie is not an IMAX movie. As much fun
All right.
much fun as I'd love to see Margot Robbie on an IMAX screen. In fact, that scene from Wolf of Wall Street in IMAX would actually be pretty popular, I'm guessing. Anyway, but it's not going to be IMAX. But it is coming out on Wednesday because we
Yeah.
also debated that. Is it going to open Wednesday in this market? And you think it
Yeah.
will?
Oh yeah, it's going to open Wednesday.
Okay.
Mark. It's going to open everywhere.
What's the deal with that?
That's odd.
Well, they've done that before. They've been doing that.
What's
and
the
I don't-
goal? Just to
I
have bigger
can't-
first week numbers?
Yeah, bigger first week numbers, basically. And it's summertime, so there's a lot of kids out there, a lot of people who have time on their hands and can actually go see it.
Do you talk to theater owners much?
I talked to one in particular a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, mostly because the theater owners are, in New York and Kansas
Sure.
City and places like
So you
that.
talk to Matt because
Yeah, I talk to Matt all the time. Yeah.
So the other day, I was in Iowa. I went to 2 different theaters.
Yeah.
Both matinees. There were literally no other people in there but me and
Yep.
my son for one movie.
Yep.
And there was one other couple in there when we went to see the Jennifer Lawrence.
And you're
movie.
wondering, how is this industry going to survive?
Yes, and I'm
And-
like, I'm like, good thing I don't sneak
Really
in
good
candy here. You
question.
guys need my money.
Yeah, exactly. Really good question. I mean, the Flash underperformed. Indiana Jones underperformed. All these big tentpole movies that people were throwing all their weight behind are not doing as well as they need to do. Now, I think Mission Impossible is going to be an exception because I actually think it's going to be a really good movie because
Okay.
they generally are. They are really clean machines. All these Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible things. He makes sure everything, and it's going to be the same movie that people expect, and people are going to go
Right.
see it, and it's going to be fine. But
seen
I
s-
don't know that if, as a trend, that we're going to be able to sustain this. I mean,
It's concerning because I do love, going to there's something special about it. Again, maybe we will have fewer theaters. I hope it doesn't ever fully go away because there's nothing like turning the lights down, popcorn, the whole schmear.
I think what we've got, and this is really true with just about every industry you think about. You think about restaurants, you're getting the middle class is getting squeezed. All those sort of $40-50 million budget movies aren't coming out anymore. They're going to Netflix and stuff like that. And the only things that are showing up in theaters are these cheapy horror movies and
Guardians of the Galaxy.
and these
Great
huge
film, by the way.
and these huge blockbusters. It's sort of like you don't have, and and I think the effect of that is you're cutting out a huge portion of the audience that's just going to stay home and watch what they want to watch
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Well,
Yeah.
on the other side of that is the strike. There's a big,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Writers Guild strike's going on,
Yeah.
and I don't know how that plays out. With if that lasts another season and what that does as it comes around with new stuff.
Yeah. I will tell you this: my goal is to watch all the Mission Impossible movies over this weekend. I'm praying for rain, so I have no excuse, so I can stay inside all weekend because I've only seen the first one, maybe two.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rewatch them from the very beginning all the way through. So I'm ready to watch that one next weekend. But I've seen two behind the scenes things, which I don't think it'll ruin it because you kind of know. But watching that Tom Cruise do himself that stunt where he rides again, everybody's seen it by now. I don't mean no spoiler alert. He rides a motorcycle off a freaking cliff. And he does it like 8 times. It's insane. And then there's also one where he's driving a car while he's handcuffed to another person. And, it's.
What's he got, a death wish or something?
He's
Good grief, who does this?
He's all for authenticity,
That's
except
crazy
when it comes to religion.
And also,
Anyway.
he can't die now because of he's achieved the level.
Yeah,
and
Lord
the-
Xenu's
Yeah,
gonna protect
exactly.
him. So I got you.
So he's at that level now.
Xenu and L. Ron
Well,
Hubbard. Good
he
for
has
him.
enough money where he can make sure that all of the stunts are fully vetted
I
pretty
would
well.
say this: if there is such a thing, if we can reference Oscar Wilde and Legend of Dorian Gray, is it not Tom Cruise? The man looks pretty good for 61 years old.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
However, I just
Yeah.
saw I started watching, like I got through like 5 minutes of the first, and I was like, I gotta go to bed. But the first 5 minutes of the new or the first mission, there's a huge difference.
Oh, is
but
there?
he is
Yeah,
aging like
yeah,
fine wine. There's
yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of, but he goes off. To
I'll tell you who else is too. We talked about this. Christian was poo-pooing it, and he's right. They didn't need the whole romantic angle in the new Top Gun movie. However, Jennifer Connelly looks
good.
phenomenal.
Yeah. She gotten a lot thinner than she used to be.
I don't know about that, but her face is holding up well. She must have a good skin system.
The whole Top Gun thing, I mean, I really like that movie.
Yeah.
But basically, it was like this 1-2-hour Cialis commercial. It was just. It was like,
And what's wrong with
I am
that?
50 years old. I'm really 60, but I'm 50 years old, and
Yeah.
I'm better than all these kids.
Yeah.
Watch me.
Yeah, the playing football on the beach
Yes.
thing, and yeah.
I haven't seen it, and I've heard so many people say like people that I wouldn't have expected say like this is a great movie.
It is.
I didn't want to watch it, and he kept imposing.
Yeah.
Don't watch this. I watched it.
It's
he was
fun.
right. It was
Yeah.
a good. It was a good
Good.
movie.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
movie.
Again, it's just like Jennifer. You know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And it
It's
delivers.
fun.
It delivers for
It's
what
fun.
it's supposed to be.
It does.
Exactly, and that's what you're getting more
It's
and
not
more.
high art.
You don't go to the
Right.
you don't go to the movies for art anymore. If you ever did, you don't go to be surprised. You don't go. You're going to get the Happy Meal. That's
Yeah.
what you're going for.
That's good. I
You're
like
not
that.
going to- yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Very good.
All right, let's do birthdays and then we'll take a break here.
Do we need 5?
We don't need 5. We could go teams.
Okay.
You want to do that? Bring Graham in here. She can be with the pigskin. See if he'll listen to a woman because apparently, you guys are all
that
down.
hurts. I said I like Beth Mowens.
Oh, well, she can't be on Wes's team. He hates female broadcasters.
No, that was savage.
I hate bad ones.
I hate bad male broadcasters too. I don't discriminate.
Time for birthday trivia in the zone. Brought to you by Elia's Mexican Grill. Award-winning Mexican food made fresh daily. Take care of the misses in your life with a personalized tumbler from her boutique. Take exit 108 to Elia's in Morrilton.
All right. Well, every team has at least one really smart person on it, and I'm not going to.
So what are the teams?
Well, it'll be these two together, Eli and Wes, and then you and Philip, and
Okay.
then the pigskin and Graham. Excuse the brains.
Good, I got Christian. Thank you.
I mean, obviously, see if you guys can coordinate your thoughts together. All right. Line 3 teams up here. What are we playing for? I guess we got
Elias Mexican Grill birthday or
yeah.
$25 gift card.
I love it. Have you been to Elias? It's right on your way home. You got to go by there sometime.
My granddaughter was walking through my house wearing her Elia's restaurant T-shirt.
Eli looks like a guy who drinks a lot of water and eats a lot of salad. So
He looks like a
They
Major
have
League
that. They have
Baseball
water
relief
and
pitcher.
salad.
he really does. You're very
He's
lean.
got the beard going.
Whatever you're doing, it's working. But I'm just saying,
Right.
they do have great food. It is very,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
top notch Mexican food, and they're very sweet and kind there.
Mhm.
And they have ice cream too. So if you ever bring the kids or whatever, just saying. All right, Adam, you're going to be on team 1, which is Wes and Eli. Cactus, whatever.
It's probably not his birthday.
Okay. Mama called him Cactus. I'm going to call him Cactus. Listen, Team Prickly is with these two guys, Christian and Philip. And then,
All right.
Mark, you're with the pigskin and our esteemed intern, Graham. All right. This guy is a stand-up comedian.
Jim Gaffigan.
It's Jim Gaffigan. That's right, Pigskin. Very good.
I've read
Thanks a lot.
I've read both of his books.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've interviewed him twice.
Dad is fat.
On this show. I need to read them. You still have them?
Yeah, I'll give
I'd
them
love
to you.
Thank you. I'd love to borrow those.
That I would like to ask about the voice, the high pitched voice that's sort of like Jim Gaffigan talking to Jim Gaffigan almost, or it's like you have these little asides in this very high pitched voice. So I don't know if you picked that up from someone else or what that came from. I guess can you tell me how that all came about?
Well, that was an aspect of my personality that I was always talking for other people. I would do it even when I was trying to pick up girls when I was in high school. It was kind of a humorous way, and it was an easy way to diffuse an awkward situation. If I was late, I'd be like, Jim, I can't believe you're late.
All right, Team 1, how old is Jim Gaffigan today? Is
that us?
No, Team 1,
What do you think?
2, 3.
60s? 50s? I'll go with that.
59, no. Team 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna go lower. I'm gonna go 56 here.
Okay.
7.
57. Bingo bango, Pigskin. Walked him right into it, guys.
Yeah.
This woman is an actress, and you don't hear her here prominently.
Fonda.
You don't hear her here prominently, but she is definitely in the
Meryl Streep.
background.
Wendy, darling, light of my life. I'm not going to hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not going to hurt you.
Shelley Duvall. Yeah.
I'm gonna bash your brain.
I was just watching that the other
I'm going
day.
to bash him right in.
Here's Johnny. I
She
could
also-
not think of her name.
She also played Olive Oil in Popeye.
Shelley Duvall. Yeah.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
She sings along here at the end of this.
Strong to the finish, 'cause I eat spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
What was Robin Williams thinking?
You know, that movie is sort of the reputation has been rehabilitated. I don't know why. Yeah, but a lot of people think it's actually pretty good. With Altman,
I was a kid and I was dumb, but I liked it.
Yeah, well, that's.
Yeah, Robert Altman made some movies, so
They made some bad ones though.
he did.
I liked him, but how old is Shelley Duvall?
Yes, Robin Williams, God rest his soul. How old is Shelley Duvall today?
You got to think 70s, right?
Yeah, 70.
You can just discuss.
72.
Yeah,
72 and a half. Let's split the difference.
74.
74. Bingo bango. Pigskin, just like it's no big deal. All right. One of the guys, well, on this song and the song you're listening to right now.
George Harrison, Beatles.
John Star, Paul McCartney.
George
Son of a gun. I named 3 of them.
Ringo's coming to Simmons, right?
Yeah. Get me tickets.
I can't even get me tickets.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I can, but we're going to have to pay for them.
Exactly.
All right. So, Team 1, how old is Ringo Starr? Oh, I'm sorry. Team 3, how old is Ringo Starr?
83.
Bingo bango. You're on fire today. It's ridiculous.
Yes, I had that one.
This figure skater won her first world championship in 1995.
Tanya Harding.
Oksana Bayul.
She won gold in the 1998 Winter Olympics. She was not
Michelle
involved
Kwan.
in any controversy.
Debbie Thomas.
Michelle Kwan. Well, that's very good. All right, Team 1. How old is Michelle Kwan?
You put that on the wrong mark.
Peggy Fleming.
You guys are Team 2. Or 1. I'm sorry. You're right. Sorry. How old's the Kwan? Welcome to the board.
90,
Thank you. See, that's what Wes is here for, to correct me.
20,
And he also said we got to go to break soon.
18, 45.
45?
46.
49.
43.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah,
All right, it's
just
getting
wrong,
less
right?
terrible. This basketball player probably spent more time
Bill Walton.
getting tattooed than he did
Yes, Rob
working
Brown
on his
is-
Chris
game.
Anderson, Birdman.
Chris the Birdman Anderson is
The
correct,
Birdman.
Christian.
Whoa. Yes, good call.
How old's the Birdman today? Not the
I think he
Alcatraz
was
guy.
maybe the first G League player to come up.
All
or
right, then.
D-League. Chris Anderson is
I'd lean heavily on him here if I were you, but you guys figure it out. Come on, NBA guy.
41.
No. Piggy?
50.
No.
Either 42 or 40. I'm going to say 42. You agree with that?
Okay, he's 45. Good job.
Yeah, I figured.
You,
Damn
you
it.
did it
Did
again.
Sorry, Wes. 337. You guys keep on me. All right, I got 3 left. This guy's a Hall of Fame PGA golfer, but not one that comes to mind
Corey
immediately.
Pavin.
His best finish in the Masters was tied for 12th.
Tom Weiskopf.
His best finish in the PGA was tied for 25th, but he won the U.S. Open in
Hubert Green.
1970,
Tom Kite.
and he won
One
the
year?
Open Championship in 1969.
Oh, 19.
Bleacher
Tony
Report.
Jacklin.
Jacklin?
Tony Jacklin.
Tony Jacklin. All right.
Tony Jacklin's how old today?
Dead, isn't he?
No, not according to my information. He'll He'll be so disappointed if he finds out he is, though.
He had the best
I
line
don't know
about
who he
Spain
is,
I've
so
ever
it's
heard.
you, Phil.
77.
No,
82.
83.
79. Good enough.
Wow.
That
When
is 2-2.
Barcelona got the Olympics, they asked Jacqueline, they said, how do you think this is going to go? He
I
said,
was thinking-
Spain couldn't hold a raffle. I'm like, that's funny.
This Hall of Fame
Tony Neymar.
WNBA basketball player attended USC.
Cheryl Miller.
Cheryl Miller.
She went to
Cynthia Cooper.
the LA Sparks.
Lisa Leslie.
Lisa Leslie.
Who
Ah,
said
just
Lisa
call
Leslie
it,
first?
Con
I
it.
did.
Good job, Wes.
Uh,
Still team one.
Woods scored 101 points, I think, in a high school game in like 18 minutes.
Against what? People in wheelchairs? Good grief. I mean, how do you score 100 points? She's 48.
No,
She might have been.
she could have, but she's not.
She will be.
Team one, go ahead.
50.
We'll go 47.
51. Team one with 5 points. It's getting interesting. Comes down to this. You guys need a bingo bango and the correct name. This Hall of Fame NBA basketball player
Bill
attended
Russell.
the University of Virginia.
Ralph Sampson.
That's right, Wes.
Doggone it.
All right, you got a shot. You got a shot. Give it to me, Team two. How old's Ralph Sampson today?
I was going to say Rick Carlisle.
I was
55.
John Crotty is the answer we were looking for. What?
55.
No, he's older than Michael.
Bryant Stiff.
Is he?
Yeah.
Name a Virginia player.
I'll go 64.
Jeff Lamb. I would say 63.
Bingo bango.
Yeah. Wow, he was in college.
Yeah, he
Long
was
time
drafted.
after I was.
He was drafted the year before Hakeem
Yeah.
Olajuwon.
Okay,
went
what
number
number?
one.
Yeah.
What number did he wear in college?
Ralph?
Yes.
God, I saw
Same
him play.
same number in the pros.
15.
No.
I don't remember. I'm trying to see his jersey.
am too.
Unusual number. Not many people wore this.
60. Oh, I see.
50.
Nice.
5-0.
5-0.
5-0. Okay.
5-0.
So did David Robinson.
He's
That's
pretty
right.
good, too.
That's right. The Admiral.
All right, that's that. Good job, guys. Enjoy your stuff, Mark. Good job there, Team Pigskin.
Thank you.
Really good work, Graham. You really hustled out there today.
She was helping.
That was
Yeah.
good. You killed it yesterday. Yeah, you really did. Yeah.
I was impressed you naming off those Virginia guys. Bryant Smith, Crotty.
Brian Stith was great. I like that was one of
Jeff
my favorite
Lamb.
backcourts of all
Wahoos.
time.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
who was the coach there?
Terry Holland.
Terry Holland.
Terry
Love him.
Holland,
Those are good teams.
They were good.
I was a big fan. That team, that and then Corciani and Monroe at NC State. I watched a lot of ACC basketball. I guess it was on TV a lot.
We watched the Bill Walton 30 for 30.
Mhm.
They're showing that David Thompson game. David
David
Thompson was
Thompson.
electric, man. He was so good.
Tell you what's electric, winning at Oakland. It's a lot of fun.
Charlie Scott.
We need a writers' roundtable down there. Did we get people to show up for that?
That's
Like,
right.
hey,
They
you
gave
can-
it to John Rowe.
Poetry slam.
Yeah.
Little-
You guys can go drink and
Yeah.
gamble and
It
all the
was
things,
John
but
Rose
right now I
was my
need you
favorite
to, hang out and listen to us. We're going to talk about books and stuff. Anyway, there are lots books. Thanks, Baz. Lots of fun stuff coming up in the event center. Actually, there's a new concert that unfortunately I'm going to be out of town for that is being announced next week that I think most of our listeners will be excited about. In fact, I've seen this band within the last year. They are outstanding. No, Pigskin, it's not a guessing game. I'll tell you next week. It's a tease. Anyway, and you couldn't be further off. This is actually something you'd want to see. Anyway, but Oakland, obviously, it just never stops. 24/7, smoke-free, always fun. Mainline sports bar is open, even though the racing side is, not active with racing. It's still a fun place to be. And, of course, all the great dining options, Oak Room and Bar. You got the Bugler. So many different things to enjoy. All the information is at oaklawn.com. You can book your room there. You can also book your spa treatment at oaklawn.com as well if you're interested in going down and having a good time in the Spa City. It is a great way, especially like you go down there for maybe a boating weekend or hanging out on the lake or whatever, and then it's raining. Take yourself over to Oaklawn, folks. No brainer. You win a little money along the way. Then you could buy Eli's book or Phillips newspaper. 12:37. We're back in a moment. Since 1957, Gwatney Chevrolet has been fulfilling all of your car buying needs. Just take my word for it. Or you could just go over there and look at all the cool cars. Great service during and after the sale, and obviously a phenomenal service department as well. And they also have, you're like, okay, what kind of deals can I get? Well, no kidding, of course. Dealing with great people, though, to me is the most important thing because a lot of places have good deals. You're not going to beat Gwatney's deals, though. They've got rebates coming in, great financing options. They'll let you go a few months without a payment. I mean, again, if you need to pay for a summer vacation, like, I don't know if I can pay for a summer vacation. Maybe you make $500-600 back because you don't have to make that payment for a month, and maybe you go 3 or 4. What? How much are your monthly car
I'm
payments?
not going to say
but
how
a
much
lot,
mine are, but it's more than that.
Well, you got multiples too, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so bottom line is you can pay for a decent vacation, obviously, by going a few months without paying for a car, but you'll have the car to take on the vacation. It's quite a deal. That's how Gwatney Chevrolet rolls. So think about that. GwatneyChevrolet.com, and they've got a great selection of pre-owned vehicles as well that are good enough for mom. It is Gwatney Chevrolet. We've got a full house here today. And appreciate Eli Craner popping in. He's going to make a more regular appearance weekly now. Pigskin's here. Philip Martin, the Wizard, and Wes Moore. And I've got to get over to my page here so we can get to it, but there we go. Champs and Chumps real quick. Christian, we haven't opened for this. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
And it's on that page?
Yeah, it's on the segment open page, I believe.
The champ. There it is. Right there. Everbowl. Delicious.
Champs and Chumps is brought to you by Everbowl, providing craft superfoods, acai bowls, and smoothies that fuel for an active and evolved healthy lifestyle. Located in the Pleasant Ridge Shopping Center in West Little Rock, next to Santo Coyote.
My chump this week, I'm going to be real quick. My chump this week is Churchill Downs. They banned Baffert for another year after giving him a 2-year ban. And I'm like, you're deflecting because you guys are the problem, not Bob Baffert. Now, Bob Baffert might not do everything right, but I'm sure there are other people who are sometimes skirting the rules. But to give him another year ban is absolutely excessive, ridiculous, and just out of line. So screw you, Churchill Downs. I'm not watching the Kentucky Derby next year. I'm protesting. I'm just kidding. And then also my champ of the week, of course, has to be Isaiah Campbell. So I'm sure I stole somebody's, but I interviewed him on Monday. You didn't. So he means more to me, and I appreciate him very much. He's going to figure prominently in the Zone Rewind as well, but he will pitch for the Mariners, if not today, very soon.
I'll echo that. That's my champ of the week. Congratulations to him. My chump of the week is Britney Spears' security team. You're there to protect her, but sometimes you got to protect her from herself. And when you see her going up to someone like Victor Wembanyama, hold on, and you go and run and go, hey, talk to their security team. Hey, Britney Spears would like to meet him. Can you say hello? Stop her. That's part of your job.
Christian, what do you got?
I'm going to give a chump to Damian Lillard. He should have asked out many years ago, but now that he's asking out, it's good for him. But there's reports that he wouldn't report to camp for a team that's not the Miami Heat that trades for him.
Really?
So, yeah, he really wants to go to the Miami Heat.
What if the Lakers do, or another contender?
Well, realistically, I don't think the Lakers.
I know
can
that.
swing
I'm just pulling names out of my butt. What if the Bucks get him? Like, again, I mean, you tell
Yeah,
me.
you'd think you'd report, but there's reports that he won't. So
All
I
right,
don't like that.
who is your champ this week?
I have to find one. Y'all do one yours first. I'll have one.
I already did mine.
We're done.
We're done.
Yeah.
You did champ.
We're efficient.
The LPGA for playing the U.S. Women's Open at Pebble Beach.
Okay. And increasing
They're
the
finally at
purse.
a good
If
golf
you can
course.
find the actual tournament on
Yeah, it's
TV,
on USA. I was watching
Yeah,
it last
I know.
night.
I'm watching NBC, and all they're doing is talking. You know, there's no golf.
It's over on
Peacock.
what's the one they used during? Oh, True TV.
True.
No, not really.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
how about this one? I could make a chump too. I won't, but Pigskin, I'll throw in your chump for you from the U.S. Open. Thailand's, I love these names. Narakrita Vongtavalip disqualified 5 holes in because her stupid caddy Jinsup Kim used a distance measuring device on multiple holes. She's a promising 20-year-old, and they said during the first round on multiple occasions the caddy used the distance measuring device, which is not allowed at the U.S. Women's Open. The first breach is a penalty. Second breach is DQ. And apparently he did it several times. How do you not know that?
I thought they changed the rule and let them use those.
They should. It's dumb. As long as it
Yeah.
doesn't use slope.
Yeah, who cares? They don't let you hit the
She's still
ball.
gonna
That's
hit
a
the shot.
USGA event, so that's
Yeah,
probably
that's-
why.
I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
I'll give a champ to Ellie De La Cruz.
There you go.
Hitting 2 homers, and the bat got checked. And
Yeah.
then
2
he
homers
came
and 1
back
middle finger,
Yeah.
basically.
And also, he's incredible. So
He
that's cool.
is. It really irritates me because he's in the division the Cubs playing. But my gosh, how do you not marvel what that guy?
And the Reds are somehow good.
Yes, it's very annoying. He's no Shohei Ohtani, but he's pretty good. Anyway, 12:46. We'll be back with our rewind, and then if you guys want to chime in on anything, you got any book signings coming up?
Pope County Library tomorrow, 11 a.m.
What do people go to the library for?
Books.
Coffee.
Basil.
What you read? What you reading for?
What you reading?
They got
What you
picture books.
reading for?
Picture books in there.
Yeah, no work. Big pictures.
Yeah.
Weekend's here. Let's head on out to Guatney Chevrolet. Go to the website, GuatneyChevrolet.com. Take a look at all the inventory. You can also see all the deals they have right now. Great deals going on because they're trying to get rid of the 2023s. They got the 2024s coming in, so they got to make some room out there at Guatney Chevrolet. And they're going to give you a good deal when you trade in your vehicle, paying top dollar for quality cars, trucks, SUVs. Be able to pay off your note, have a little extra cash in your pocket, or you can put it down as a down payment on a new vehicle. Head on out to the lot, GuatneyChevrolet.com, see what they can do for you, and do some dealing this weekend at Guatney Chevrolet.
Tickets should be on sale early next week. Don't have an exact time. We're still working on details for Countdown to Kickoff. Former Razorbacks, current Razorbacks. The Buzz Crew will be there. Some other local celebs. Should be a ton of fun. Last year was our first year. This is our second annual. It will be at the Hall on August the 1st. It is a Tuesday. Corky's Barbecue will be catering, and it will be a blast. Do not miss it. Put it on your calendar. I'll get you details later. We will have a VIP meet and greet with the players, current and former as well. And we are excited to be able to announce all the details here soon. So,
Any players signed, sealed, and delivered?
I have verbal agreements or text agreements, but I don't think that's binding in a court of law. But I'm no lawyer. I'm no lawyer. I'm barely a radio host. All right, quick look back on the week that was. Let's get over to our zone rewind real quick, and then we'll let the guys go off with their parting shots. You know, they used to do that on sports reporters. They'd go around, like, give them their little party.
Yeah.
We should do that today.
Always dangerous with Woody Page and Mitch Albom.
You dimwits think of something interesting to say here at the end, and we'll do that. Just kidding. I joke. I love you guys. You know that.
Now it's time to look back. It's the best interview and show moments of the week. It's the Zone Rewind. Brought to you by Mosquito Joe's. Don't let pesky bugs spoil your summer. Mosquito Joe rids your yard of mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks so you can enjoy being outside. Call 501-508-2528 or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com for a free quote. Mention the buzz and you'll get your first service for just $39.
Former Arkansas Traveler Mike Napoli got run from the Cubs game the other day for complaining about balls and strikes. There was one point, Philip, you appreciate this, where the umpire called the Cub out who only had 2 strikes on him. Things weren't going particularly well. Then they were mad because the Brewers closed the roof because of shadows, not because it was raining.
Yeah.
Very strange. David Ross also got tossed. He wasn't happy.
I know it's not an easy job, but there's some of the pitches that got called today just weren't even close. And so it's got to be better. You know, they're closing the roof to get rid of the shadows late. There's a lot of that went on today that just was really frustrating.
You tell him, David Ross. Yeah. Isaiah Campbell was our star this week. He got the champ for 2 different guys today. So obviously he had a good week. It's really great. Wes, I wish you could have been in an interview. It was really cool. Here he is on potentially being called up. This was before he actually was called up. So we'll call this some sort of clairvoyance.
So what about you? I mean, do you expect to be here at the end of the season to celebrate a championship?
I don't think about that stuff. Just kind of keep with the process, and the results will come. And whenever that comes, it comes. But really, just enjoy my time with this team, and love coming to the field every day in Little Rock. And so don't really think about that stuff. Just go out and do what I do every day.
Breaking news from TMZ. Video from the incident in Vegas shows that Brittany tapped him and did not grab Victor Wembanyama. So his account of what happened is baloney. USA! In your British accent.
I see a lawsuit coming.
No doubt. She's at least going to get a new pair of glasses out of the deal. And then Isaiah Campbell. You know, we talked about the near miss at the College World Series a few years ago. With, you know, a little more life and experience comes perspective, and he seems to have some, which is more than I can say for a lot of my Razorback fan friends. John Neighbors.
I don't really think about it that much. I think more now is people who know about college baseball. They're the ones who bring it up to me, and they're like, oh, how was it when the drop fly ball happened? I mean, and I think nowadays I'm in a better place to talk about it. It's just like, and it's baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
TD Ameritrade's a big ballpark. It's the adrenaline's rushing, and like everybody a part of that play. I mean, they're all really good friends of mine. I see them. Was at Eric Cole's wedding. I'll be at Jared Gates' wedding, and me and Shaddy talk all the time. And so, I mean, I know at that time they were getting a lot of the brunt of it. But, I mean, there's other things in the game that could have happened that would have affected it differently. And so for me, I can talk about it easier now, but it's more people coming up to me and being like, hey, you were part of that team. Or when they figure out I was at Arkansas, they're like, oh, you were part of that drop fly ball.
Yeah.
And so I just laugh about it now.
Well, that's good. Glad he can. All right, Eli, what do you want to tell the people before you go?
Nothing. Pope County, if you're around Russellville tomorrow, Pope County Library at 11 o'clock. And
how late's the library stay open there?
1 o'clock on Saturdays, like all libraries.
Like North Little Rock. North Little Rock, you gotta expand your hours. 1 o'clock's no time to close the library on a Saturday. We need time.
Well, third Friday in North Little Rock, come down to the library, and they have art, and they have wine, and they have all this stuff going on there. So but that's the only time I go to the library is when there's wine.
Okay, I'll see you in a couple of Fridays then. We'll do that.
Okay.
What are you writing about this weekend?
Oh, ask me what I wrote about this weekend. Yeah, I still lay awake at night thinking about a fly ball, actually a pop up behind third base in foul territory that I dropped when I was 12 years old. And I still think about that.
I know some therapists you can talk to.
Yeah, I know. And I could still hear the coach in the other dugout going, "Get ready to run on. You can run on that arm." I still remember that. Heel on my glove.
This is your column?
Oh, no, it's not my column. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
my,
This is
it's my,
nightly
it's my therapy.
Okay. You got issues, pal.
Yeah.
Peggy, what are you preaching about this weekend?
Oh, how to get rid of guilt.
Could you talk to Philip?
Well, Philip's not guilty.
You don't have to
He is
feel
just
bad about
negligent in
not
dropping
catching
the
it,
foul
Philip.
ball.
I think he feels guilty.
But we can help you, Philip.
Yeah,
we
well.
could.
You and Isaiah Campbell.
I got a lot of I got a lot of failure in my life, so I've had a lot of practice with that. So
That's me.
Yeah.
I like to do a lot of things, and I'm not good at much of anything.
Exactly.
I feel your pain. All right. Thanks for tuning in this week. It was a really hard 4 days.
3.
3 for us.
Well, I didn't work it all the week before. It's not a competition, boys. I didn't work that much this week. It was
Are
fun.
you guys getting off Bastille Day this year? I'm just checking.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Although next year was pointed out to me that it's leap year, so 4th of July will be on a Thursday, so we will be working a flex day in for that Friday for sure.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
that's
Nice.
smart.
no brainer. And if Terry won't sign off on it, we'll just protest and not show up. Now we
on
may not have
strike.
jobs on Monday,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, like with the bagel shop.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We got network we can always go to.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta let those guys have a shot.
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned. Out of Bounds coming up next. I think RJ is going to be here with Joe Franklin again, and I'm told that the Rock and Roll Sushi guys are popping in. So I'm just saying, if you guys on plans, you might want to stick around. Pigs can maybe feed you twice on a Friday. Just saying.
Great.
All right, Eli, thanks for coming by, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. Catch him over on. You're on Channel 4
Channel
today
4.
at 1:45.
Yep.
I didn't know they had
I
TV.
think
then.
it runs Monday.
Monday.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
recorded. Gotcha. All right. Philip, thanks, buddy. Looking forward to your column about your drop fly ball. I'll never forgive you.